T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gorl World Hurricane Party. I don't know if you guys actually saw the graphic for that. I had a good time making that. Hey, Grateful Life, good to see you. SCL, how are you? Welcome to everybody as you guys roll in. I know I started a minute or two early. I was online. I was catching Hurricane Idella updates, and I did not want to lose track of time, so I finished what I was doing and just went ahead because, you know, I don't want to throw the entire night off by not starting on time. You know what I'm saying? So we got a little bit of everything for you. Tonight, we're going to cover the whole Gorl World smorgasbord and a little bit more. So, in the process of waiting to go live, the star of Gorl World, the ever so illustrious Foodie Beauty, uploaded a video. So, I have snatched it because we're not giving that heifer a review, and we're gonna watch that real quick, which most of it looks to be mostly
we're in Thailand. Sawadee.
Oh shoot. My apologies about the volume, y'all. This is already so informative, it's ridiculous. That's still hella loud, y'all. I want to blow y'all's eardrums out. Hey, SH. Good to see ya. Here we are. They're just now getting to the airport, and look at her. I'm going to take a moment to point out here that they picked a country where there is massive amounts of fried food. Coincidence? I don't think so. But at the same time, though, too, we're also talking about a very limited number of countries that Salah can go to based on his passport. So, doesn't surprise me. The other thing, too, pretty solid bet that all of this has to do with a visa renewal on her part versus, you know, them just doing this for the fun of it. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, I wasn't going to go there, but because we already knew. But, you know. Keyword there is yet. I have a feeling that anything that she's got that's light colored is going to be messed up by the end of this trip. Excuse me, y'all.
Just waiting to check in to hopefully go to Doha, and then everyone from Doha to Thailand.
Inshallah.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
Me too. I'm a little hot and sweaty from walking around. You know, I'm not in the best shape, but
you'll be okay, inshallah.
Actually, Heidi, my hometown, which is 45-minute drive north of where landfall is supposed to be. The Waffle House closed at 9. So yeah, they already done battened down the hatches and all that stuff. My dad and all them are still there, and they done went and got enough gas to run a Jenny for God knows how long. So can't wait to see how that plays out, because in all seriousness, as nice as my hometown is for, it's good for raising kids, but it's not great, raising kids or retirement, because, a lot of them old folks, they sit around at the corner diner or they sit on their porch and stuff like that. But in between them two age groups, it ain't good for much. But every single time a hurricane rolls through that area, guaranteed you lose power, because there's so many trees that, without fail, it's wild. Exactly. At go time. No doubt. Oh, well, see, then you're going to miss every bit of it. You lucky, lucky girl. What up, CBD? That's my homegirl right there. Yeah, man. Let's see. We're going to continue on.
Yeah. Gonna be checking in our luggage.
I hope it'll be not too long.
Inshallah. We just made it through security.
Look at how red she is, y'all.
Not too many people here. Alhamdulillah.
In an air-conditioned airport.
We're gonna find a drink of water somewhere. So they asked for the passports and boarding pass to buy water. Maybe because it's duty free.
I don't know, maybe. But really, first time in my life, they require a boarding pass just via water.
Very important water.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to gate 5.
Yeah, let's go.
SH, I can give you some recommendations. Actually, where I'm at's not bad.
So here we are, guys, waiting at the gate, and soon we're gonna be on the plane.
So excited.
Me too. Hell yeah.
How far is Silver Springs from Perry? Because truth be told, if it's near Perry, the likelihood's pretty good.
Hi, baby. We are heading to the plane now. Watch us and safe travel.
Hey, can y'all be sweet to each other, please? I don't know if y'all heard that, but Mom and Boo are over here resting.
We're on the smallest plane of life right now.
Unfortunately, yes.
It's only going to be about an hour, but
The smallest plane of life right now. You're talking about a 6-row across plane. That is really not that small. I understand it probably feels that way for her because she is capable of taking up more than a third of that space, but no.
these things are my best friend. These fans.
AC.
In case you got a yak. Personal wellness.
For customers who have joined us, welcome aboard Qatar Airways, a member of the...
Look, guys, how hard it is when you are tall.
I don't feel no pity for him. Hey, kids, you hear them? Can y'all be sweet, please? Hey, be sweet. Be sweet. Don't play so rough. God's honest truth. SH, you're looking at me. I'm a middle-aged woman. I live on the Emerald Coast. Which, on Emerald Coast, you have Mexico Beach, you have Panama City Beach, you have Miramar, you have Pensacola. just depends on what you're looking for. I mean, every region of the state is different, but I really kind of enjoy living here. I mean, you have a lot of the larger city amenities, but, more of a smaller town feel, because you're talking about cities that are not overly populated like you would find. And no offense to Miss Heidi, but Clearwater and Kissimmee can be rather bustling areas. So if you want to be able to have the city-like atmosphere, but not all the bustle, then Emerald Coast would probably be more your jam. Just all depends on what you're looking for, darling. I don't feel no pity for Sawa, because anybody who's over 5'8" has these problems. They done got riled up. I don't know if y'all can hear them. They took off out into the living room. Jesus.
There is no leg room at all.
Hey.
For my lap, it's okay.
Alright,
we're on the runway.
Okay, let's go. 3.
Having to play cat referee. This is ridiculous.
Yalla. 80 knots.
Take off the lane.
To each other, okay? Baby boy.
Topsy-turvy, wake up early, could be anywhere.
Alright, so for a snack, we get a complimentary snack on this plane. So we have orange juice, orange nectar, and some hot pita bread, warm. Okay, this is hummus here, couscous, and mutabal.
What's up, Handy? Good to see you, my dude. Aw, look at how much he loves himself. Mm-hmm. No, I'm sorry.
Hi, babe.
They
okay.
just got off the
too
plane
many
and
AC
she's
here.
already complaining about being hot and she's already short of breath.
We're getting a ride to our gate. We're going to be late otherwise. Boarding is like now, and we still have a 20-minute walk to our gate, so we are taking a train.
What does that say about the level of function that she has when she can't she can't effectively walk 20 minutes in the time frame allotted? That's really, that's a little sad. I'm going to be honest.
Guys, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Actually, this airport is so massive, so huge. First time in my life I see airport like this big.
Yeah.
Awful lot of filler content. Most of this video looks to be filler content so far. Right. And I feel bad for any rickshaw drivers that end up stuck with her ass.
Very nice one. More comfortable.
See how far we would have had to walk? Oh my goodness.
MashaAllah, it's a huge one.
Yeah, this looks to be mostly filler content.
We still have to go to 24 so far.
It's a long distance.
Yeah. I'm so happy we're going on our first international trip together.
Me too.
The level of smug simply because he's got his arm around her. Nobody cares, girl. Nobody cares. No, I agree with that. But if you watch, I think there's probably going to be another section of her walking. Watch how slow this chick moves. I mean, she is literally working her ass off to get from point A to point B. She just doesn't have the strength. She doesn't have the stamina. She is half a breath away from being bedbound. She's screwed up her health that bad.
Okay, it's time to get up.
Yeah, man.
That she couldn't handle it. She would probably fall over dead of a heart attack before she got to her gate. Oh yeah.
Whoa, it's AC here.
Let's watch her because
Now heading to
you
the
know he
plane.
loves to
Right,
kind of
babe?
put her in a position where she looks bad. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm gonna back this up just a little bit because I just noticed something.
Whoa, it's AC here.
You'll watch. There's a spot right here where she actually lags a
Now
step,
heading to
like
the
she
plane.
couldn't pick her leg up all the way. Right
Right,
there.
babe?
Right there. See it? Good enough. Right.
Which movie?
No one
Serious.
cares.
Without a doubt. And here's my beautiful wife, Sandra.
Jesus, look at that. Holy Lord Almighty. I'm not trying to be ugly. I've been a fat girl. I mean, told y'all, for those of y'all that aren't familiar, I mean, before I had weight loss surgery, I was 350 pounds. But I'm going to tell you, right off the get-go, number one, I never would have got my ass on a plane knowing that I was that big. Number two, if I did, I would not be sitting in coach. Okay, because number one, I'm already too tall to be sitting in coach. So Jesus jalapeno. Yeah, baby, that's been over 20 years ago. So I mean, obviously, you've been around enough, SH, that you know that I put back on some weight because of menopause, which I am still in the process of fixing, but I'm still making progress. But this, holy shiz. I mean, I understand that there are difficulties with traveling as an obese person. I get that. But I knew that before I ever even went into having weight loss surgery, and I made sure to plan accordingly. This is not planning accordingly. I mean, first off, I would love to know how it is she's even remotely comfortable. And I would love to know too if she's reclining that seat even the slightest, because God's honest truth, you can't tell me that she's comfortable sitting like that.
This is stunning as usual.
Look at that. Jesus
All
Christ.
right, so almost immediately they gave us these little snack crackers, and they were pretty good, and some cranberry juice.
Because that's
We
what she
loved
needs,
watching the
more
flight
food.
map during the flight, and we had to go over India, which was pretty cool. So my meal was some Coca-Cola with a water, some kind of hamburger steak with a delicious gravy mashed potatoes and like a cranberry sauce, with a mixed veggie salad and a cheesecake dessert. And this was Salah's meal of chicken, rice, and
Are we just going to talk about the fact that she has basically had 2 meals already over the course of probably 4 hours, not including the chips that they gave, the little crackers or whatever that they gave her?
he said it was quite delicious. And after dinner, of course, we had
Another
some
snack.
cookies and some nice fresh hot coffee.
So we have like 4 hours or so left. I'm on my second movie.
So while we did book our seats together, mashallah, the extra seat in the row, nobody was sitting there, so we used it for extra room. It's just, you know, more spacious and more comfortable for us, and we could put the blankets and pillows in the middle. And as you can see, I can use the center tray, which of course, because mine doesn't come all the way down because of my size, but it's
Oh, yeah.
okay, the tray was fine, and we still got to hold hands for most of the flight, so. And more food. They gave us this sandwich, like a breakfast kind of sandwich. It had beef and egg and
Another
flaky
meal.
pastry, and Salah thought it was really delicious. I actually did think it was pretty savory and tasty as well. We discovered that you can also play games on the entertainment unit on the plane. So I had some fun playing Monopoly. I played for like at least a good hour. It was fun.
%. Oh yeah. A lot of the bigger planes are set up that way now.
And we made it.
I still can't get over this right
Look
here, guys. Look at the gap between her belly and the seat in front of her. Jesus Christ.
SIM cards and taxi to our hotel.
It's okay. Piece of cake. Welcome to the humidity.
Yeah, it's can't even see anything out the window. That's how humid it is here.
At all. LOL.
Look at how nice that airport is. Holy moly. That's something that I've noticed. Asian countries take really, really good care of everything. They have respect for the things around them, you know?
Hotel for a shower.
Inshallah.
Which is going to make her
We have to
stick out
check
like
for
a
our
sore thumb
luggage.
because she doesn't respect anything.
Which conveyor belt it's going to be on? There's a million. Yeah, so
Take a look at that. This is her filter, y'all. So imagine how red she is without that filter. This is just for her walking from the plane to the baggage area. There is no way in the damn world that she is going to be able to do a bunch of walking while she's here. I will be shocked if she's able to accomplish that.
we're just going to wait for our luggage. And this airport is huge. And I'm super full because they give us, like, if you fly with Qatar Airways, they're going to feed you every 2 hours. I know you can say no, but it's really hard.
It's really hard for her. She should have said that because the average adult person who has normal eating habits would have been able to have one solid something and been content the rest of that 6-hour flight. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, very hot and tired of this whole day of traveling and walking around so much. So, but I'm all right so far. I don't know any Thai. The only Thai I know is like Sawadika and Sawadikap for a male.
Oh, look at that momentary filter fail, y'all. Jesus, look at how red she is. Holy Christ.
My makeup, oh my gosh. I need to get to the hotel and have the coldest
Hypertension on parade, everybody, right there.
shower. I swear. I'm so sweaty and gross. One of the first things you want to do when you get to Thailand is get a SIM card. So there's all these stalls surrounding the entire airport. Very competitive. So we are currently going to be getting some SIM cards, preferably with unlimited internet from somewhere.
That building is pretty.
We're currently in a traffic jam.
Yeah, need like 1 hour and a half to reach the hotel, from the airport to hotel.
But
So exhausted,
yeah, me too.
but worth it.
Yeah. We're gonna eat
I don't see much of that happen.
while we're here. You gonna try some?
I will.
Good.
In Thailand, you will see these little motorcycles everywhere. They're a very common method of transportation here.
Don't be expecting to see any footage or very little of Foodie on one of these. If anything, I expect there to be a lot of Sala on one of these because I'm pretty sure that every one of these little mopeds and these scooters all have weight limits that she exceeds. Yes, and I'm sorry, you know how we're not talking about the two brightest people in the world, Grateful.
So we're gonna end the vlog here, but we were so tired
More
when we
food.
got back to the hotel. We picked up some local halal Thai food here, some chicken satay, and we have some spicy sauce, some shrimp, and rice. It was very delicious. And we have some fried fish and rice. So this is just the beginning of the journey, guys. Took us a while to get here, so we're kind of tired. So we're just going to eat and we're just going to rest up, and then we're going to do all of the things. So stay tuned for a lot more vlogs coming your way. Thanks for watching, guys.
I'm shutting that off because I don't want to have to hear his voice. Okay, so let's talk about it. So, okay, isn't it ironic that we can't get this heifer to leave her apartment in a city that she lives in that has a rich, dense cultural history, but she's willing to fly to Thailand? The other thing, too, is that, of course, every bit of it is going to be no different than if she would have stayed home. There's going to be a lot of food. There's going to be a lot of out of the window video, and maybe the occasional clips of video where Sala's like, hi, baby. Hi, baby. It's going to be the same old shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to basically be her saying, I went to Thailand. I'm a world traveler. Cool. Nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Probably. I mean, I've driven both. They each have their merits. That would have required effort on her part, which she's not going to do. Right. I mean, realistically, we know that's what this is. I mean, she had to do something. She didn't want to travel alone. I can almost guarantee you that if it had been up to Sala, she probably would have, if it had been anywhere but Thailand, he probably would have let her go on her own. You know what I'm saying? But this was a free vacation for him. You know what I mean? But real quick, talking about Foodie and this red face and the whole I'm hot, I'm sweaty, and blah, blah, blah. We have seen a continuing pattern building up where if she has any extended period, and I say extended for her, which would be beyond 3 or 4 minutes of actual physical activity, she complains about headaches, she complains about nausea, about just feeling generally unwell. Ideally, what is happening here is she has put an increased, I had to jot myself some notes, so y'all just kind of bear with me here. Because y'all know how I can get. I will get myself wholeheartedly off track, so I'm going to have to do some reading here. She's putting an undue strain on her heart because what's happening is her heart is having to pump harder to deliver the blood and oxygen to the muscles. which is already under strain because of her size. The fact is that is going to make her blood pressure even higher than it already is based on her diet, based on her overall size. Because of that, there's going to be narrowing and stiffening of the blood vessels, which is actually contributed to by the diabetes too. That's not uncommon. Almost guaranteed she probably has some atherosclerosis, which is hardening of the vessels interiorly from plaque buildup, which actually reduces the flexibility, and it creates creates an increased resistance in those vessels, which makes the blood pressure even higher. And actually, it actually makes it harder for blood supply to travel as smoothly as it should, including to the brain, which would actually cause the headaches, what would cause the nausea because of oxygen deprivation, Another thing too that comes with high blood pressure is you're talking about increased cranial pressure. I've seen that happen with people who are pre-stroke, where they complain of a headache, they complain of being nauseous, and hours later they're in the hospital because they've had a stroke. So you've got various things. Another thing that comes into play in that too, because of the fact that, number one, she eats everything processed, everything salt laden. She doesn't drink anything unless it's loaded with salt and all these other crap too. Her electrolytes, no question, are out of whack. There's no way in hell she's adequately hydrated, Realistically, I'm going to take a really good bet between her diabetes and this new onset, and I say new onset very, very leerly, because I have a feeling she's had hypertension longer than she realizes. There's no question in my mind, with the swelling in her legs and her hands, between that and the CHF, she's got kidney damage going on. She has, like I told you guys before in other videos, she's got a stacked up comorbidity list. I mean, she's got a comorbidity bingo card going on. You know what I'm saying? Well, the chest pain and shortness of breath, Heidi, those are pretty standard. When you're talking about high blood pressure, you're automatically at risk for stuff like that. Angina is absolutely common, especially when you're talking about exertion. The shortness of breath, though, she's always had with any sort of activity because of her pulmonary edema, which actually leads, it's kind of like a never-ending vicious cycle for her. Yeah. I'll be curious to see, but I have a feeling that Sala doesn't want a never-ending shitstorm for the duration of his trip. Okay, so
See you.
Jesus, that's not what I was trying to do. Remove. Okay, so real quick. I wanted to I'm gonna move that over there, make that a little bit easier here. I'm gonna do a share screen 2. We're going to do a retro react on ALR because there is some correlation going on between things we're seeing now and things here. So this is from Salty Crab's channel. And I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but when I saw this, I was like, ooh, this is all sounding really familiar. And Amber has 100% denied taking any medication. But we also know, though, too, ALR is not fixing to put in the work. If she can do something to lose weight without actually having to participate, she'll do it. 100%.
Be like a regretter. That's just not who I am.
Shout out to Salty Crab on this. Doing the Lord's work out here.
I want to talk to you guys about the weight loss programs that I recently went to. I went to visit 2 of them, and I kind of want to tell you what they were, like the experience.
Can we take a moment real quick to appreciate the fact that Amber actually had a neck here, which she doesn't now.
what I decided to do. So the first one I was so excited for. It was a program where you would eat mainly shakes throughout the day. You ate, was it 6 times a day, I think? No, it was 8 times a day, actually, I remember now. You had 5 shakes a day, and then you had 1 protein bar, and you had one of their meals, like a little meal entry, and then you got to make your own meal at home, which really was just 3 ounces of a lean meat and a side of like broccoli or something. When everything was said and done, like when the pricing was said and stuff, I was like, okay, I can deal. And when she said it's gonna be, you're gonna pay month.
Actually, tell you the God's honest truth, SH. For the longest time before I started doing intermittent fasting, I ate 6 to 8 small meals a day. You're talking about 4 ounces at a time usually. And it's not just, it's kind of like she was laying it out, small solid foods, and then like protein shakes and stuff in between. It just depends on how regimented you are and the portion size. So for her, the likelihood that she would have followed through on that is really slim. But for somebody like me who can only eat a couple of ounces at a time, during that time frame, it's entirely possible. But we are talking about ALR, so that's an entirely different monster.
And this and that, and I was like, okay, that's a big chunk of change, but I'm willing to do it. Like, I'm cool with that. But then she's like, but you have to put a down payment. We're like, okay, we can do it. How much? And when she said the price, we weren't able to do it. It was very large chunk of money, and I was completely surprised at how much it costed. And I left the place crying, and it was a letdown, and we were all really sad. So on the way home, Destiny's mom brought up another program. She said it was weight loss pills. So I was really hesitant. But she explained, like, oh, I've done the program before, I went through it, and it makes you super, like, energized, and you'll want to get up and do stuff, and it's going to make you want to lose weight, and you're going to, like, have a loss of appetite. It's so freaking awesome. And she played it up like I've never seen. So I was like, okay, why not? So I called, I made an appointment, and I ended up going.
Hi, Evelyn. What are we doing today?
I'm going to my weight loss program assessment.
Are you nervous?
Yes, because this is like I feel like going. I have to decide what I want to do.
Yeah. Let's run an hour drive. Her appointment's at 4:30.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee.
Just on the intention.
And I feel like a lot of people are gonna probably do not invite to it and stuff. So.
I brought this up because when I watched this earlier, if you guys will notice, the most recent upload that she did, she talked about I'm doing this thing. People are going to judge me. Y'all are going to tell me it's not good for me, blah, 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 blah. But she's dropping weight extremely fast. And we know that this one is not the least bit inclined to do any sort of physical therapy other than walking around her apartment to do minor things. I mean, she's essentially worthless activity-wise. Well, okay. I'm going to tell you. SH, if you want something to try to help you do that, I know you've probably heard about berberine. Berberine can be purchased over the counter. It actually has similar effects to Ozempic because it deals with insulin resistance and things of that nature, and it does have an appetite suppressant sort of effect. There's a lot of people right now that have been using it and produces pretty good results from what I understand. Yep. Which to me would explain that simply because it's an upper. You know what I'm saying? The medication she's going to mention, I will get a little bit further into it when she brings it up.
Why are you angled so low? I feel like self-conscious. It's fine. Go higher. What do you think it's like?
I find it amusing that she thinks that the camera angle matters when it's not going to change the fact that she's over 400 pounds.
Alright. But yeah, we're about to go to
Oh my holy
little
Jesus.
appointment, and that's okay. I'm dramatic anyhow.
No shit.
So we had to
She says that to start in on this.
drive all the way to freaking Tennessee. It was like 2 hours away. I got there and it was like literally a hole in the wall. I was like, this looks so sketchy. I was like, what am I doing here? I don't even know. And I went in there and I was like, crickets. There was no one in the
See how extra she's being?
like appointment area where you sit and wait, and which is shocking because normally when you go to like a weight loss place or like a doctor's office, there's all these people in there, and it was like crickets. I was like, creepy. Okay, so then I went up to the thing, and there were two people there, and they were just sitting down, chilling on their phones, like acting like they don't even work there. And I was like, hi, I have an appointment for 4 o'clock, and they looked at each other and they're like. The mixture of being nervous, not sure, the weird gut feeling, and then seeing them act like that, like, I went off the handle.
First off, and this is going to be ugly, but I don't care. This one right here don't need to be talking about her gut feeling when her gut feelings landed her with the gut that she's currently toting around. Sorry, not sorry.
The lady got up and she's like, oh, I didn't know we had any appointments. And I was like, yeah, I have an appointment today at 4. So she looked at the paper and she's like, yeah, you do, fill this out. And I was like, cool. Okay, so I went and sat down, filled out my little paper, and I was sitting next to the small TV, and the lady who gave me the paper, who gave me the attitude, went up to the TV.
Side note, we've already established with ALR that when people don't kiss her ass and act like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, she considers that attitude. I can't stand her.
She started like pressing buttons or whatever, and then for like a solid 5 minutes, and I was like, what is she doing? And then she goes, oh, I guess you can't see the tape today. And I was like, is this sign number 2? Like, okay, what are you talking about? I'm not going to be taking no pill if I don't get no information, because I'm assuming the tape had information on it that I needed to see. And so I ended up telling the lady, I was like, what did the tape say? Like, and she goes, oh, it's information we're already going to tell you. And I was like, okay. I was like, I'm just going to be completely honest. I'm going to let you know I don't take pills. I really, truly don't. I'm really nervous for this. I've never been on any type of pill like this. And I've heard, some things. And then I found out the fact that I Googled the weight loss pill, which I did Google. It is phentermine. I Googled it. There are some really bad side effects, and that is what I do not like. And I was really scared.
Said by someone who, fast forward however many years, is swallowing Delta 8 and Delta 9, which, by the way, is a non-regulated medication who nobody has actual side effects listed for, but that's totally fine, right? Same woman who says she's nervous taking a multivitamin, which, by the way, production of that is kind of FDA regulated. So realistically, the stance that I took on this, listening to her, she was looking for every excuse not to follow through. Okay? If she thinks that this small place with these 2 nurses, with the janky TV and stuff like that, if she thinks that that is a hole in the wall place, she has obviously never been anywhere, because I have seen some real shitholes. Real shitholes. Okay? I've worked at some shitholes. This is not nearly as bad. I don't think any of this is nearly as bad as she's painting it to be. The other thing, too, she's going to talk about this nurse. And I'm going to tell you, there's some of us out here that match the energy that we receive from people. And I have a feeling that's exactly what happened with this particular situation.
So I told the lady, I was like, okay, so I Googled this. I'm nervous. I was letting my guard down, and I thought that would be a good thing. And the lady got the bitchiest attitude. in the freaking Central world. Like, what does that even mean? I don't even know. She's like, she had this smirk. And she goes, if you end up not taking the pill, you're still going to have to do a $30 charge for just being here. And I'm like, I was just trying to tell you how I felt. Like, damn, girl. Damn. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. This doesn't seem right. Like, this lady is pissing me off. Like, I've never known. She's completely rude. I feel like if you're doing a customer service job, you need to respect the people who are doing, like, who are there, who are your customers.
Oh, sister, take your own advice. You are rude as hell to your audience, who, by the way, are your customers. Somebody click and send that to old girl with that heads up, because apparently she seems to forget that.
And she wasn't at all. So we ended up having.
Side note: medical professionals are not obligated to kiss your ass as a part of treatment. Just saying.
Me step on this weird platform to see how tall I am. I've never seen this type of platform before. So I just said, hey, I'm 5'3". We don't really need to go there because they wanted me to take off my shoes. And I'm weird when I come to taking off shoes. I don't know what it is. I explained to them, like, I'm 5'3", so it doesn't matter. And then the lady, the bitchy lady, the one I keep telling you about, she was like, there's no way you're 5'3". What? Like, who are you? Do you know me? Like, are you measuring me right now with your eyeballs? Like, how do you know how tall I am? And I was like, I am 5'3". I think I know this. And she's like, no, just step on. And I was like, you know what the fuck ever. I'm going to prove you wrong. Took off my shoes, got on their little thingamajigger that I don't even know. And I'm 5'3". Ugh. And then I had to go into this, like, ghetto bathroom. I'm saying ghetto bathroom to go weigh myself. And normally the scales at, like, doctor's office, and, like, even the one at my first program, they're like these, like, big scales that look legit. They had the same scale that I have at home. And weighed myself. I was 480. I had all my clothes on. I didn't want to take off my shoes at that point. I was like, wait, my shoes. So I was 480. I just want to say my highest weight is 482. So I was like, oh, down.
We've since broken that record and then some.
On 2 pounds, but I was wearing, like, jewelry. I had glasses on. I had my earrings on. I had rings.
This is a trend right here that continues on to this day. Like, she feels like a necklace and some glasses and her earrings is going to amount to fuck all on that scale in comparison to 400 plus pounds that she's toting around on her frame. It's kind of like God's honest truth, and it aggravates the holy shit out of me that she makes such this huge ordeal about weighing herself naked. Boo-boo, 3 pounds in the grand scheme of things means nothing. Jesus.
I had my purse on. Like, what was I doing? Anyways, and then we went into this little room, and that's when we started talking about the pill. And she was, like, telling me this things that it was going to do to me. She was telling me how I should eat. She said, do 1,200 calories, no flour, no anything white, no potatoes, no peas, no corn.
Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys caught the last video that I did on her. Well, not on her. It was on Foodie about the quack doctor visit. And I said outright, my mother would have told anybody when she dealt with them, if they're this overweight, they have any health issues, she would have told them, go on a racist diet, nothing white, no sugar, no bread, no rice, no potatoes. Because all of those things, your body treats them exactly like sugar. You know, obviously aside from sugar, but sugar itself is highly processed. That's why your body reacts to it the way that it does. I have met people, I'm not a fan of sugar. It gives me dumping syndrome. I have palpitations from it. But I have worked with several ladies over the years that use nothing but unrefined cane sugar. They put it in their coffee. They put it in their food, stuff like that. And your body has less of an inflammatory response from unprocessed sugar than it does from actual bagged white sugar. So realistically, if she had done the bare minimum and took the actual advice of staying away from anything highly processed like bread, rice, sugar, all of that, she could be 120 pounds right now and have already had all of her skin removed. But, can't tell this heifer nothing.
Porn. And I was just like, I was blocked off at the point. So it was pretty much going on one ear and not the other. I knew right then and there I did not want to do the pill. So she's ranting for
So translated to, because she didn't kiss my ass, I didn't want to do anything that was recommended to me because I'm special.
solid 30 minutes. And in like the rant, you could tell that she must get commission or whatever that word is because she is working, honey.
Reader Lynn at work there, y'all.
Like, she's now complimenting me, saying how I'm beautiful and how some
X'd it out.
people just carry their age so well. And that
X'd it out.
when I showed up, she thought I was like 15. Like, it was a whole.
Probably because she acted like she was.
And I was like, you knew she was trying to get that money, girl.
There's no way in hell that she actually cared, because I can guarantee you for every ALR that comes into that bitch, there's 10 people who come who actually want to do it and they stay and do it. The other thing too, whether or not she chose to do it or not, they're still getting paid. They, like she said at the beginning, there's a $30 office charge.
It was annoying the shit out of me. Destiny and her mom were in the room with me and they were feeding into it, and I was like, I ain't dealing with it. And about 30 minutes in, I go, excuse me, can I talk to them alone? Because I really needed to talk to Destiny and her mom. I wanted them to know I just wanted to leave. I didn't want to do this. So the lady left, and I explained to them I just didn't want to do it. I started crying so hard. I was like, the side effects, I'm scared. I'm not used to medicine. I don't want to do this. Like, and they kept telling me, no, you need to do this. Please do this. Blah, blah, blah. So they got into my head, and I said, fine, I'll take the fucking pill. Like, I'll do it. Fine. So the nicer nurse lady came back in, and she's like, so have you decided? And this lady I did like. And I was like, and actually I didn't say anything, actually. Destiny's mom did, and explained, kind of how I was feeling, like my fears. And the lady was really nice to me, and she was explaining how she took the pill and how it worked for her, and that she was currently on it. And she told me that she was like, counting calories won't be hard. See, that wasn't my thing.
See, that wasn't my thing. But here we are, 10 years later, and counting calories is almost impossible for her.
I think they thought like me counting calories was the issue.
You don't say.
I don't think they fully understood that me taking a pill is just, it scares me. I didn't want to do it. I don't think they got that part, but she was really nice and she tried to explain, like, counting calories isn't hard, you'll be okay, and 1,200 calories will seem like a lot when you're on the pill, and all this stuff. Anyways, we ended up getting the pill. We started the next day, and bam. Hey guys, so I figured I would film a mukbang video. I'm going to be eating 3 pretty big slices of pizza. So, I don't know if I've told you guys yet or not, but I'm on a pill to help me, like, curb my appetite or whatever. It's kind of helping. It's to the point where I kind of have to, like, force myself to eat right now.
Said the woman holding up 3 slices of pizza.
I really don't want to eat. Like, I don't. But I haven't eaten today at all. And that's not good. But I need to get something in my system. In my system, what? In my body. In my stomach. And the only thing that we really have right now is pizza.
First off, I don't believe that. She just wasn't willing to actually go through and find something that would have been healthy. She opened the refrigerator and took the first thing she saw because she's a food addict, and anything that's fat, greasy, or fried is automatically for her. That's true Grateful Life, but the fact is we know that would be wasted money on them because they're not going to use them. I mean, ALR has had a food scale, but she doesn't use it. She eyeball scales it. You know what I'm saying? And it sort of defeats the purpose of even having it if you're not going to use it. The other thing too, okay. Jesus. what she is giving here is actually standard for that first day. You really don't want to eat anything at all. The medication they put her on, phentermine, is actually Adipex, which when I went to my physician at the beginning of my weight loss journey, that's what they gave me for the first 30 days to help me transition from every couple of hours eating a little bit to eating in that 8-hour window, because I was getting up at 5 a.m. and my doctor didn't want me to actually start eating until 10 o'clock in the morning. And she knew, based on being post weight loss surgery, I got to the point where I was regimented of eating a little something every couple of hours. So she put me on that to kind of help reboot my metabolism and to help get me through the hardest part of that day. And realistically, that first day, you really don't want to eat. So I will give her that, but it still doesn't change the fact that she picked the worst possible food to put in her mouth. There were plenty of other options. Don't tell me that you're out of everything when even the most poor of people will have a little something in their cabinet. A can of green beans, for God's sakes, would have been more beneficial to her than this.
I do want you guys to know that I'm the queen of like moderation. I lost 89 pounds before.
I am so sick of hearing about the 89 pounds. And here's the reason why. That 89 pounds would be the equivalent of, just using me as an example. Y'all know that I'm in sobriety, okay? That would be like this. I lost 89 pounds once. Would be me falling off the wagon and drinking and being on camera right now talking to y'all drinking and saying, oh, well, I was sober before. I had all these years sober before. The moment that you fall off the wagon and you return to your addiction, that time, all that time, those 89 pounds are null and void. That is not an accomplishment when you weren't able to keep it going or maintaining it. She loves to tout that 89 pounds, okay? She loves to tout that 89 pounds, but do you notice that we haven't recreated it since then? And I think the likelihood that we'll do that again is fairly slim.
I'm being 100% honest right now. If I was not filming this mukbang, I probably wouldn't be eating. I don't feel hungry. Like, the pill's really working, I guess.
Said as she shoved 3 pieces of pizza into her mouth over the course of a couple of minutes.
Today's my second day on it. And the only reason why I'm eating 3 pieces is because I did not eat all day, and I literally feel like I probably won't eat much later. And if I sat here and ate carrots and stuff, I get full so fast and probably only eat like 100 calories. Not even enough. Normally after I eat something like this, I really want sweets, but I just don't. It's so freaking weird. Like, I don't get it. I am having, what's the word? Paradox? I think so. Paradox symptoms. Like, the pill I'm on is supposed to like give me some energy. It's supposed to like make me kind of like jittery and want to like do things, but it makes me so tired, like so tired. So I looked it up and I was like, why is this making me so tired? And it happens to a lot of people. So it's normal. It's weird. My mind wants something sweet and something crunchy right now, but then it's like the rest of me don't. Like, my stomach doesn't want it. Like, I am losing weight, and I'm super happy about that. I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, you guys. So I figured I would film a video about what am I doing to lose weight? Is it working? So I recently uploaded a video. I'm not sure how recent, but I uploaded a video about the 2 programs that I was going to do for weight loss. One of them involved 2 shakes, and the other one involved pills. And pills it is. The pill I'm taking for weight loss is called phentermine. I've only been on it for 4 days.
So, real quick, I wanted to throw this out here, which, you know, if she was taking this medication and I'm only getting like a 50-50 on whether or not she was actually taking it, because anybody who's ever taken Adipex knows it gives you ridiculous freaking cotton mouth. Okay. You will literally walk around with a drink in each hand and you'll be persistently just drinking all day long. That's another reason that you're not hungry, because you stay constantly drinking. And they tell you that in the office before they actually give you the script and put it in your hand. You're going to have lots and lots and lots of water, because it speeds up your metabolism. It speeds up your heart rate. It speeds up all of this. It also speeds up your urinary output, you know? So what happens? You end up dehydrated if you're not drinking. And do you notice that not over the course of however many days she used this, that she did not mention that one time? And dry mouth is the number one side effect of Adipex. So I'm kind of leery of her.
4 days is a long time when you're on the pill. I can tell you that much.
4 days is not a long time.
So the first day, I didn't notice a difference. If anything,
that's another thing that I have trouble believing, because I'm going to tell you, the first dose, within a half an hour, I felt that shit.
And I felt hungrier. I don't know.
That's another thing too. I don't believe a word of that.
The second day, I took the full one. I did not want to eat. I noticed it worked. But then I was like, where's the energy? Why don't I have energy? I had zero energy. If anything, I was energy-less.
All I can figure is that Amber seems to think that this is supposed to be like, she's supposed to be bouncing off the walls because of this. I mean, and realistically, God's honest truth, for the average person, take me, I had an unlimited source of energy, man. Once I took that, I got up, went ahead and took it. Within 30 minutes, I was on it for the day, no problem. But, you know, the fact is that I'm mobile. I'm active. You know what I'm saying? It has a lot to do with you. If you get up and you start moving around, the likelihood that you're going to have an energy burst off of it is really good and is really likely. Sitting on the couch and doing nothing is not going to be beneficial to you at all. So goes to show, she actually said, oh, everything went in one ear and out the other. I wasn't listening. That's because she doesn't want to. It's just like every other time she goes to anybody for any sort of intervention. She doesn't care. She wants instant results. She wants the results that she wants in the time frame she wants, or she doesn't want to do it.
I didn't understand why. I felt really tired.
Oh, yeah.
And like I have to take a nap, and I'm not a nap girl. I was able to count my calories and stay under the allotted amount, which never happens anymore. Honestly, I try to count calories and I just don't. I just can't. I either mess up in the middle of the day, or I just overeat at night or binge, but it didn't happen. For the first time in years, I was under my allotted calorie limit, and it was awesome. And I didn't feel hungry, I didn't feel deprived. I just didn't want food. I didn't care. So yesterday was day 3. I was nauseous. I was really nauseous. We went out because it was Father's Day. We went out to a Mexican restaurant, and I was so nauseous, you guys. And also that was one of the symptoms that's kind of to prevent you, not to want to eat and stuff. And I forced myself to eat. Yet again, I had to force myself. You can't not eat. I can't express that enough. You have to eat. Day 3 was crazy. Like, it was like, whoa. I just didn't want to eat at all. I barely ate yesterday. So there is a nurse in the family here. We were talking to her about it, and she's like, okay, you need to be taking your blood pressure, because that's like one of the main things is that you'll get like moderate to severe high blood pressure. So
not necessarily the case. That has more to do with Amber and the fact that she's over 400 pounds. And realistically, she is probably already pre-hypertensive at this point, if not already hypertensive.
Well, I took my blood pressure yesterday. It was 149/69. And my pulse was 100 because the pill is supposed to make your heart rate go really fast all day long because it's making your metabolism be a lot faster. I ain't a doctor, but that's what they told me. And 149/69 is a high blood pressure, but it's not crazy high. So the nurse, I'm not going to say her name, there's no reason for it. She told me, that's okay. That's about normal. That's about the range that happens with people on phentermine. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm a normal breed. But then we told her, I'm not getting any energy. Like I'm not. I'm tired every single time I take it. And the nurse was explaining that people actually that have ADD get phentermine to make them more calmer, more like, not tired is the word, but just more able to focus and more chill. She's like, you could possibly have an undiagnosed ADD. And I was like, oh. She's like, that's the most common sense of the matter. The most scientific reason. Like she was trying to explain.
I'm going to let her keep playing. Hang on.
So she said, that's why I'm experiencing that. And that's just how it's going to be for me. And she said, just keep making sure to do your blood pressure. I ended up taking my blood pressure today. Actually, twice. Let me answer the question of, is the pill also working today? I would say it is, but yesterday it was just more extreme, more heightened, and like, I don't know what it was. So the nurse told me an hour after you eat, take your blood pressure. So I did, and it was 153/80, and my pulse was 88. 153/80 is higher than the day before. And that made me feel really uncomfortable. Like, I'm feeling like this ain't right. Something's not right. This is not right. I should not be getting high blood pressure, even though it's a common symptom. Like, it was just beating me up inside.
Here's another thing that I don't think she's taken into consideration. Yet again, here we are. We talk about the fact that this one eats nothing but processed foods, which is full of salt. We also know that she likes to pour hot sauce all over God and everything that she shoves into her head. So between that and her size, the likelihood that she's going to have an increase in her blood pressure because she's taking a synthetic speed is not going to be uncommon. And not trying to be ugly, but whoever this nurse is in the family that she's claiming, should have told her that she's going to have to modify her diet, that she can't continue eating on as she has and expect to have some sort of positive reaction to this medication.
And then I took my blood pressure it was at 7:19. I want to say it was about 2 hours ago. It was 179/76, and my pulse was 96. 179/76, not good. Let me repeat, not good at all. The little blood pressure thing we have.
SH, you might actually want to sit down with your physician and have them try some alternate medications because there are some, unfortunately, it's not a one size fit all with a lot of these medications. A lot of times it's going to take a combination of meds or a particular type of medication to actually get a positive result.
It's known for not really being like 100% accurate, but it's like accurate enough.
This is being said simply because I feel the need to. For anybody out there who is using an automatic blood pressure cuff, more power to you. I understand that having a manual blood pressure reading done requires a certain level of training to be able to do that effectively. But you cannot rely on automatic blood pressure cuffs, whether it be the arm cuff or the wrist cuff. The fact is that there is no greater reading than that of the human ears. No machine is ever going to give you the type of performance in that area that a human being will.
So we texted the nurse. We do text her. We do talk to her.
The other question, if this nurse is worth a damn, she would have asked this question. What type of cuff are you using? Is it automatic or is it manual? And if it was an automatic, she would have told her to go somewhere and have a manual done.
A lot. And we're like 179 over 76.
I'm working my way up to that.
Like, I was terrified. And she said that I need to not take it tomorrow. She said I need to focus on what my blood pressure is when I'm off of the pill, which my blood pressure when I'm off the pill is always normal.
X'd it out.
For the most part. I think there's been like twice where it was like just a little bit above, like 130. Like, that's not that bad. I'm gonna be taking my blood pressure again here in a little bit because that's very important. It was 20 minutes after I ate, which is probably, but I have made the official decision to not take the pill anymore. I am not comfortable with high blood pressure at this weight.
She's not comfortable with high blood pressure at that weight, but can almost bank on the fact that homegirl has had hypertension this whole time. And like I said, I don't believe the fact that she says her blood pressure is normal. The likelihood of that is really slim. And I say that as somebody at 350 pounds at 20 years old. I was hypertensive to the point where I would have nosebleeds. And I was active. I mean, really active. Not anything like her. I don't consider a walk a couple times a day as overly active. I mean, I was working on my feet 8, 10, 12 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't consider her active. Hi, Abby Cat. It's okay that you're late, love. You made it. That's all that matters.
Because already being morbidly obese, my heart is working crazy hard for me. Having the high blood pressure is just making it work even harder. And not only that, but it's giving me anxiety, which causes, again, my heart.
That was another thing, too, which kind of surprised me that she even made it as few days in as she actually did, because she's such a sensitive bitch and all this, too, you know. Any sort of increase in her pulse rate is going to automatically send her into panic mode. And I say that as somebody who I had that exact same symptom the entire time I was on it. For like the first couple of hours after I took it, my heart rate was elevated. And I knew that's what it was. It was just the medication. So realistically, I'm surprised she didn't kill that shit on day 2, talking about my heart was racing, my heart's racing. Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack. I swear to God, I think she was looking for an excuse to dump this medication.
To work even harder. So it's a mixture.
She wishes.
It's just not good. I have lost weight. My highest known weight is 482 pounds.
Whoa, Jesus. How the mighty have fallen, y'all.
And I weighed in at the weight loss place where I got these pills at 480, but I had all my clothes on, I had my shoes on, I had big bulky jewelry on, I had my glasses on, I had my purse on. So it was 480. That was not the right weight. Like, there's no way. I weighed in today at 468 exactly. So from my highest weight, I am down 14 pounds. I'm super happy about it.
First off, she's counting that highest weight at 482. That's where she's getting her total from, which is not exactly where she should have started. That's another thing about her that irks the holy living snot out of me. She wants to take her highest weight and subtract her current weight. First off, your starting weight is the starting weight, not when you weighed your highest 8 months before. Padding your numbers does not make you successful by any stretch of the imagination. So, you know, right. The highest known weight keeps changing. It's just, I can't even with this one. But, God, I done derailed my mental train of thought here, y'all. Hang on.
It's a freaking start. Anyone can call it water weight.
That's exactly what it is, as a matter of fact. There was no actual weight loss. no fat loss because she was not on it long enough. Between the lack of time frame, the fact that she continued to shovel high fat, greasy, processed food into her face, all she did was lose 12 pounds of water. Because again, highly processed equals loads of salt, shit ton of tapatio on top of everything that she sticks in her mouth. So yeah, water weight, all of it.
Anything you want, really. I don't care. I regret not learning at a younger age to take care of my body. You know,
Your fault.
I just feel like it's not fair.
Life is not fair.
Anyways, that's a whole rant. The pill does work, but there are some. It's really it's bittersweet, honestly. Like, do you want to put yourself at risk? Like with all those side effects, that's how I feel with any sort of pill, honestly. And I think everyone understands for now that this is just not going to work. I'm going to take my blood pressure again here in a bit. I'm hoping it's lowered, and if it hasn't, I don't know. The nurse said that if it keeps getting higher, that I need to go to the ER. Do things. See, it's this little thing.
Okay, so her blood pressure was higher in the next reading. But, hang on, let me find it because I'm fixing to... Hang on. Real quick. Okay. Let's just take a look at this real quick. Number one, look at the size of her damn hand and the size of her damn wrist. Okay? No offense to nobody out there, but if your ass is her size, if you are not of a normal body mass index, you have absolutely zero fucking business using a wrist cuff. Past a certain size wrist, it is not going to give you an accurate reading. Take a guess at what readings it gives you. It gives you higher readings, not lower. Those are predominantly recommended for elderly people who have little tiny, dainty little wrists who need simplification of use. That is not reliable, not even close. Realistically, that was a big part of the problem. That was a big part of the issue with her blood pressure readings. That's why I said it either needs to be a manual or not at all. If anything, if she's going to use a manual cuff at home, and I'll give that to people, okay, fine. What should have been done with her is an actual bicep cuff should have been brought, and it should have been used on her forearm. That would have given her the most accurate reading, because that wrist cuff is not designed for people who are over 400 pounds at all. Right. And you missed it, Abby. It was before you come in. She brought up that 89 pounds that she loves so hard to. I did that. I equated it to being an alcoholic, where let's say I had 5, 10, 12, 14 years like I've got now. If I started drinking again tomorrow, I could not sit here and continue to progress in my disease process and say, oh, I was sober for 14 years. I was sober for 14 years. The moment that the momentum is gone, that the weight loss stops, that the sobriety stops, it's over. You can no longer claim it. It is no longer yours. That is something that for some reason seems to escape her, and I do not know why. That is a failure. End of. And she, for some reason, refuses to acknowledge it. And the only thing that I can figure is that's because she's fucking stupid. Oh, say it louder for the people in the back, ma'am. Exactly. Look at Abby Cat coming through with that big brain energy tonight, y'all. Dang it, girl. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to take a real quick sidetrack here because I noticed something, okay? that I wanted to share with y'all. Why is it not giving me? Oh, wait. Share screen. Screen 2. Allow. We're going to close this and close that. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to move that over. And then I'm going to re-enlarge. So let me see if I can open this here. Foodie's talking about how her hair has grown back in. Damn it, I ain't got a way to open that up where it's bigger. Yes, there we go. That'll work. So this was Foodie's hairline when not long after she shaved her head. Let me see if there's a way to zoom this in. Zoom. There we are. Okay. As you can see, this is old girl's hairline when she shaved her head. You see, she's got a pretty dominant widow's peak right here. You see it? I mean, we remember that whole video where she let Snaggletooth thread that thing off and it made her look wonky. But this one right here's got a pretty dominant widow's peak. This is the same one who's trying to claim that her hair grew back. And that she's not wearing a skull cap of any kind underneath this hijab. But do you notice something? No widow's peak. I can bet you dollars to donuts that she is still shaving her head. I mean, look at it. No widow's peak at all. Let me open this thing back up here because we'll continue. We'll do some side by side action. All right. Zoom, 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 zoom. Before, okay, when she shaved her head. After. If you'll look at that, she's got that hijab up high enough that if she actually had hair there, some of that widow's peak would be visible. Tell me you ain't got no hair without telling us you ain't got no hair, my dude. Before hijab, after hijab. Before hijab, after hijab. Chick ain't got no hair. Miss Rose Oil works and multivitamins works, and my hair is so luxurious and growing in, it's almost to my shoulders. That girl is bald as a cue ball. Okay? Can't with these people. So, quick little secondary touch on ALR here now that because I ain't going to tell you no lie. I forgot about the foodie booty thing, or I would have covered it after that video. But just a little quick touch on this whole Delta 8, Delta 9 deal. How she was saying it made her hungry and this and that and da-da-da-da-da-da. There was actually documented studies that say that according to the American Journal of Epidemiology, there was a published cross-sectional data study from 2 population-based studies with 50,000 people. Obesity rates in the 2 surveys were 22% to 25%. Among those participants, they had reported no use of marijuana in 12 months prior. The obesity rates dropped from 14% to 14.3% and 17.2% in both of those studies, who actually reported during that time frame that the study was taking place that they were using cannabis at least 3 days a week. Now, if this chick right here, who claimed she was doing this Delta 8 and THC supplementation, pretty much every day, realistically, based on those studies, she should have actually seen a weight loss during that time frame. Realistically, your body's response to the THC is going to be influenced by several factors, one of which is including your weight. 9 times out of 10, well, a lot of times you see THC used as a dietary supplement to actually stimulate the appetite in people who have none for various injuries or ailments. My guess is that she probably had little bird feather floofs on her head. Right. That, she ain't fixing to not have that dyed. If she's got any little bit of hair there, she gonna dye it. It could be yay long and the girl would still dye her hair because she's vain. Right. Marinol is a wonderful thing. I've actually given it to several patients over the years. They love to give it to the elderly because it does stimulate them to eat. But you're talking about people who are already malnutritioned, who have like little, very, very small amounts of dietary intake. Whereas people like Amber, it tends to have the opposite effect. But isn't it interesting that she swore up and down that it made her eat? Interesting thought, isn't it? It struck me funny that she said that. All righty. So, I figured we'd hit one last one. And this is actually the one that's doing something with herself. And she's doing a damn thing, and I'm hella proud of her, Share screen. Screen 2. Allow. I'm going to drop it. We're going to see Miss Candy.
Wednesday night dinner.
That steak looks amazing.
Just a big old chuck steak and some pickles. All right, I have 4 little 0-carb tortillas with 2 servings of Rayo's pizza sauce and 2 servings of mozzarella cheese. All total, it's about 300.
Real quick, shout out to Rayo's, by the way. Their spaghetti sauce is amazing. It's expensive, but it's amazing.
40 calories. Yeah, there's a few carbs with the sauce and stuff, but it's not horrible. There's actually only 1 serving of pepperoni through all 4 of the tortillas. So, yeah, that's the highest calorie part, I think. All right, Thursday night meal. Got 2 cans of tuna fish, 2 heaping tablespoons of the Sir Kensington's avocado mayo, probably a 1/4 cup of cherub tomatoes, 6 olives, which is 3 servings of olives.
Okay, that's the only part of this right here that I can't get past. Talk about a strange flavor combination between green olives and tuna. But, whatever makes her happy,
And salt, pepper, garlic powder.
Don't be hating on the green olives. They good.
Paprika, and turmeric. But yeah, that's my dinner for today.
Hey, Gaining Gerd, how you doing?
Okay.
It's good to see you.
Next up, I forgot to mention I also added spicy brown mustard and dill pepper relish as well. Yeah, the majority of my day I'm just relaxing, watching my comfort shows and movies.
I would not have pegged Candy to be an anime watcher.
Oh my goodness. All right, it's Friday, August 25th.
I'm just having leftover broccoli casserole.
Talking about the broccoli casserole deal. That's been my go-to here lately. I know I mentioned it like at one point when Nikki came over for movie night. I ended up making a batch of that. I'm going to tell y'all, I have gone a little cray-cray. I have had it a couple of times. I've made little small batches of it a couple of times since then because it is so good. It is so good. And it is loaded with protein and, very filling. It doesn't take a lot of it because, there's something like 16 ounces of chicken in it. There's like a whole bag of broccoli, like steamed broccoli in it. So it's very, very, very good. Secret ingredient on that is cream cheese. It makes it amazing. Oh yeah, girl, I'm totally, totally fine. I actually said earlier in the update video that I did today, I'm actually outside of the cone for it. I mean, we're going to catch some rain bands later on tonight. We're supposed to have like the next 2 or 3 days is supposed to be like upwards of 80% rain. But I don't expect to see any major weather. It's actually due to hit my hometown. The point of contact, like where it's due to land, is 45 minutes south of my hometown where I moved here from. And everybody over there that I've talked to, they've all battened down the hatches. They've all got their gas, their water, their food, because the small little community that I'm from, the country little county that they're located in, it doesn't matter. Every time a storm comes through, they lose power. It never fails. Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, all of my people are very lucky. They live in good, solidly built homes, no mobile homes or anything like that. So I have a feeling they're going to be okay. When I talked to my dad about it, the biggest concern that he had was for our people that live in the county. The county is actually one of the few left in Florida where you can live in a travel trailer. There's been a couple of times where me and him have been on the golf cart with the dog riding around on the dirt roads and stuff. And there are whole sections of properties where people have these little travel trailers parked and just stationary on these properties. For those level of winds, it's not going to be good for those folks if they don't have them strapped down. I'll be curious to see exactly how much damage is done for those folks. But thus far, everybody's okay. I've been checking in pretty regularly, I think the town that it's due to land in is called Perry, Florida. Perry is actually really a lot closer to the coast, so they're going to catch a lot more of it. And I'll be curious to see how they fare, because the last time we actually had a hurricane come through, they took a beating. We're going to let Miss Candy do her way in.
Hey y'all, it's that time again. It's August 25th, and it's time to weigh in and see where I'm at this week. Yeah, it's been a kind of boring couple of days. Had some steak and, not a whole lot of interesting recipes or anything, but I will post my food for you guys. So, all right, here we go.
Let's go, Candy. Let's go, Candy. You can do this, girl.
Hello. It's ready. Okay. All righty. £403.8. 403.8. Ooh. Going in the right direction.
Hey, 100%. Any little bit of forward motion on Candy's part is Beautiful. Candy is one of the few people in this whole community that I can get behind because she is a genuinely sweet lady. And a lot of the issues that she has are stemming from childhood trauma that unfortunately she hasn't been able to get help with because of monetary reasons, and that is one of the issues that I do have with our healthcare system, the way that it is. I mean, mental health is really not nearly as prioritized as physical health, but the two are tied so closely hand in hand, but it continues to be neglected. Well, I'm going to tell you a secret, Gaining Gird. It rains about 8 months out of the 12 here in Florida. It starts about March and you don't see the end of it until probably the end of September, just depending upon how active the hurricane season is. Well, it's because she's not a butthole to people. Candy is a genuinely nice person. Take like Obese to Beast. Obese to Beast hasn't caught any backlash over anything that he's ever said or done, and that's because he's not an awful person. And that's applicable to ALR too. It goes back to that comment that I make over and over and over again. The energy you give is the energy that you get. They can't be upset that this is the community and the response that they have cultivated. When Candy doesn't get this hate, Obese to Beast didn't get this hate, that's because they're not awful people. This is another one of those situations, and I've said this multiple times, they need to sit down and look at themselves and say, you know what, maybe I'm the asshole here, because they are. They are the figurative and literal elephant in that room.
All right. Whew. Thank you, guys. Oh, my goodness. Well, that is nice to hear. All righty.
Goodbye.
Bye.
4.6 pounds. Do it, Candy. 49 total.
Hey, y'all.
Way to go, sister. Way to go.
Just popping in for a quick hello tonight. Before I get to editing, I just want to, say hi to everybody and talk about my weigh-in a little bit. Yeah, not too bad. I'm down a few pounds this week. So
well, she doesn't do nearly as much of the eating on camera as she used to, so that's sort of changing.
Hopefully I can, hang in there. Just another week or two, and I should be past that one threshold. Not a whole lot has been going on in the last few days. I haven't even cooked anything interesting. Just had some leftovers. I think I cooked a steak, just pretty basic. And today I just had the leftover broccoli stuff that I had from the other day.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. I mean, realistically, Candy is not doing a bad thing by utilizing what she has. I mean, God's honest truth. I mean, you guys will hear me say it pretty regularly. I meal prep. I'll give you an example. Today, I made spaghetti. And I put, it had Italian sausage in it, which I know is not great, but it does have fat in it, which, you still have to have even when you're losing weight. I put hamburger meat in it. I put black olives. I don't want to hear nothing SH about my olives now. I put mushrooms in it. I chopped up some sweet basil from the garden, put that in it. I used that can of that good jar of that good Rayo's spaghetti sauce. And I threw me some protein pasta in that baby. And I'm going to tell you, I shook me just a little bit of Parmesan on top of that. Heaven in a bowl, y'all. Real talk. And God's honest truth, that I've got 3 other plates ready to go. I stopped today and I made, how many did I end up making total? 12 breakfast sandwiches and those are all wrapped up and in the freezer. And all I got to do is throw one in the refrigerator overnight and then pop that baby in the microwave when I'm ready for it in the morning. I do that in concert with my protein shakes, which, I had some of that. You guys have seen me sip on it. This is my dessert for the night, and that's 160 calories and it's got 30 grams of protein in it. But there's nothing wrong with doing that because it takes away the guesswork. It doesn't actually, it takes away the guesswork. It keeps you from being tempted. It keeps you from actually having cravings and stuff like that. And you guys, I don't know if any of y'all have seen the protein mousse that I make. I make one that's a chocolate peanut butter cup mousse. I do a banana pudding protein mousse, and there's in each tub there's 60 grams of protein. If I happen to get like a sweet tooth craving and I don't want to deal with these because they have to be really, really cold to make them palatable, but those protein mousses are made with these, and by mixing it in and producing that mousse of it, I get a sweet tooth, couple of bites for you, and knocks that right out, and majority of it is protein. Gaining GERD, if you'll look on the channel, I have the video up, and it's real simple. What you're going to do is you're going to take whatever protein shake that you want to use. For the banana pudding one, I use a strawberry banana protein shake. I use a packet of sugar-free banana pudding. Mix those up real good. Okay. And I actually put extra protein in them. I use plant-based protein, 2 scoops of that, because that's another 30 grams of protein on top. Mix it up real good. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take it and fold in a bowl, a container of sugar-free Cool Whip. Mix it, fold it in real good, mix it in real good, put it all back in the Cool Whip container, put it in the refrigerator. As over time, the pudding will set and it'll give it more of that mousse consistency. It is amazing. You'll probably love it. Like I said, it only takes a couple of bites, and that sweet tooth, that itch for junk food is gone. And it's healthier for you than actual junk food would be. So yes, I am all about eating healthy, but eating good at the same time. My inner fat kid is not going to go without being addressed, despite the fact that I'm trying to do better, Oh no, you are totally, totally fine. Totally fine. Best recommendation, if you got a food processor, that would be your best way to mix up your pudding, your protein shake, and your protein powder. Put them all in there. Put them on like a medium. Let it get good and mixed. Run it for a couple of minutes to let it get everything good and situated before you try to put that Cool Whip in there. But the Cool Whip's got to be sugar-free, because if you use the regular, you are completely defeating the point. Don't be hating on the green olives. I have to be in the mood for the green olives, but I love olives anyway. Don't matter what they are. But yeah, I put them black olives and some mushrooms in there. Oh, y'all. Sorry. Y'all can't tell I love food.
So, not a whole lot of interesting food to share. Not a whole lot of interesting information. Other than I'm just trying to find stuff to do with myself. Hopefully some kind of side hustle will come along to help my
God's honest truth, just like everything, all in moderation, love.
So I'm playing around with things like that. There's lots and lots and lots of videos on YouTube about this side hustle or that side hustle. And, I'm already kind of working with Amazon a little bit, doing some affiliate stuff. I get serious about that because, it's bringing in a couple of dollars here and there. But, there's other ways that I could, I do like reviews of products that I buy and stuff like that.
Well, here's the other thing, and I don't know if she knows it or not. And I'm hoping somebody has told her this. A lot of the success in relation to video views for her is going to be all in how she tags them. There is a whole niche of traffic for weight loss and health improvement and lifestyle adjustment that she could tap into. All she's got to do is find those particular channels, especially the ones with the high traffic, and look at them and see how they're tagged. You know, the more tags she's got, the quicker she's going to be pulled into that algorithmic search and make it possible for her to get more eyeballs. And the fact that she's such an incredibly sweet lady, people will stick around, especially when they see that she is actually doing the work. I can't 100% say for sure. The last thing that I heard is that she was on carnivore, and she was doing that quite a bit, but I think now she's more on like a dirty keto of sorts, because she does still use, like she is using, the little keto wraps and stuff like that. There are some carbs being used. So I think she's doing more of a keto. I think she's stepped away from strictly carnivore at this point, but she's still getting active results. So, that's really what matters. Whatever works for her is going to work for her. The fact is that she's already done the hardest part. She's gotten through that first upward battle of actually getting into the change of eating habits. So, I mean, she's doing great. She's almost 50 pounds down. I'm incredibly, incredibly happy for her.
And I've also joined
Right.
the Amazon affiliate, not affiliate. I'm in the affiliate,
It's so
but there's
difficult.
also an influencer program, so I really could do some review videos and stuff. So that could happen. I'm just, anything to keep from being homeless, for goodness sake. And the last 2 months has been pretty rough, pretty rough. Oh man. But I knew it was going to happen. That was one of my biggest fears about giving up the whole mukbang thing. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there supporting me and stuff, but views are down, like, way down. I mean, they were already not great anyway.
That's to be expected, though, given the fact that her content was geared to feeders. You know what I'm saying? She was very transparent about that. She's taken an entire shift in relation to audience base. And like I said, if she could figure out how to tap into the tagging that she needs, she could see a drastic turnaround in her views
in the last year. But and not only that, I've kind of screwed myself, with the algorithm a little bit, because
you can tell it's doing wonders for her,
and stuff,
and not just physically but mentally
really
too.
Need to be consistent with at least twice a week, or the algorithm's like, a hungry fat chick who so kind of gotta just hang in there. And I think this time of year is typically bad. I think summer months are just kind of bad for my CPM anyway. It tends to pick up.
They are. She
stuff tends to pick up.
You can tell she feels,
for some reason. I don't know.
She feels more energized.
Holidays, people are off. They're sitting around watching YouTube. But maybe people are going, vacation and stuff on their summer break. Who knows? I know kids are going back to school soon, if not already. I don't know anything about all that, but oh goodness. So there's that, and y'all know I was playing around with the AI stuff, the Chat GPT, and then some of the other text to image type things. So I've been having fun playing with that, And a couple of the side hustle videos that I was looking at on YouTube were talking about how you could make like a faceless channel and earn and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds kind of interesting. Who knows? And and I know that the chat GPT, it could take just a few prompts and like create this fantastical story. That's actually that stories that I'm actually finding interesting and stuff. So I'm like, this is something that was pulled out of the ether. Just some kind of little, thing that wouldn't exist otherwise. And why not share it somewhere? So I don't know. It's just another way to play and hopefully find a new minor source of income. I mean, I've got little sources of income here and there. I've got my fans stuff and all that stuff. And oh Lordy, that's not on the top of my list of things to do, but I'm dipping my toe in there as well.
Absolutely. And I touched on all that. And I talked about, after the fact, like her blood pressure issues and the way that her body's responding to the activity level and the activity she's trying to do and why. But she does. And I made this comment a couple of times. I'm like, this is her walking from the plane seat to the baggage area. Look at her. Chantal is playing with fire and she is just like, oh, look at the pretty fire. She's not worried about the fact that she's fixing to end up with 3rd-degree burns from it. She's not thinking it through. She doesn't have the wherewithal, the mental maturity to play the tape all the way through. In her mind, she thinks she's going to accomplish all these things, but she doesn't actually start. It's like she expects to wake up overnight and miraculously be 200 pounds lighter. It doesn't work that way. In her mind, because everything is built on instant gratification, she thinks that if she eats relatively healthy for 2 or 3 days, she's going to see a drastic difference. It's not the case. And it really makes me irritable with her because she's smug as shit about it for absolutely no reason. In all sincerity, Candy has reason to be smug right now, and she's not. And the reason that she's not is because she realizes it takes work and that doing it is not easy. She's proud of herself, but she's not smug. Chantal is unnecessarily smug for no reason. And that unfortunately translates to every fucking person in her orbit. Nader, Sala, Pete's. They all have this overinflated ego with absolutely nothing to justify it. It is unreal. Right, but that's the thing though. Chantal doesn't see anything wrong with how she was raised. She doesn't see anything wrong with how she is. In her mind, she's perfect. We're the problem. We're the issue. Everybody else is the cause of her problems, not her.
Lord help me.
Actually.
But yeah. Whew. This is my job, doing stuff on the internet. This is how I make my living. And I'll find all kinds of stuff and I'll keep y'all informed on what I'm doing there. I could make stuff to sell on Etsy. There's lots of little things I could figure out. But the main thing right now is that I stick to this, lifestyle choice that I'm making here. And keep doing my best to go the route of health, and wellness, and just stay away from the eating on camera, And if I ever, want to do that again, I'm just going to keep that on other sites. But I doubt I do. I mean, I don't know. That would be the easiest thing I could do, I'm sure. But I don't want to eat garbage. I'm done trying to eat garbage food. But I still like a little garbage. A little too much cheese, little too much artificial sweeteners and additives and whatnot. You know, I don't know. I don't know why I have to do that, but I just, you know, little silly things like that make me happy.
Well, I mean, realistically, and I mean, I am not shunning candy in the slightest for giving in to certain aspects of, what she's talking about. I mean, this is going to sound bad, but this is coming from somebody who knows exactly why those things are bad for you. But why it is that we like them is because they taste good. It makes the inner fat kid happy dance. Well, that's the deal. That's the deal. Chantal doesn't believe that that is where she's headed. Okay. The same way she doesn't believe that she is going to continue to gain weight. Okay. She considers herself better than every other lolcow in the girl world sphere. She considers herself better than Candy. She considered herself better than Tammy Sladen. She considers herself better than ALR. And that's because of the warped sense of reality that Foodie has for herself. So back to Richard Grannon, because y'all know how much I love him.
All narcissists are fragile narcissists. All narcissists are compensatory narcissists. They know this is a lie. So they're fighting all the time to maintain the charade that they're living. If anybody challenges this, you attack them. That's called narcissistic rage. If this is attacked, or reality itself just says, no, you're not amazing, that's considered an attack because of the fragility that's there. That's called a narcissistic injury. The response to this being attacked is narcissistic rage. How dare you suggest I'm not the most amazing, whatever it is that I think I'm amazing at, and I will pursue you and I'll destroy your life because you said one thing that was factually accurate, that I'm not as good as that guy over there. And I will work for years to destroy you. All narcissists are fragile.
So when we started talking about Chantal in therapy and the fact that she doesn't see herself in all of this, that is part of the reason why. She is living in a fragile mental state that she has built this fictional world around her and this fictional image of herself that she sees. And it's a very delicate thing. That's another reason why that her and ALR, because they're cut from the same cloth, you can easily see it. They will not ever benefit from therapy because honesty, as Richard said, is a form of attack to them. They can't even be honest with themselves. So having a therapist point out the holes in their delusion would cause an automatic defensive response on their part. That's why when ALR kept making these claims that she was seeing this therapist and she was making great strides and this and that and da-da-da-da, and her relationship with food was so much greatly improved, I didn't believe a word of it. Did not believe a word of it. The other thing, too, is the fact that she talked about even during the first session that I boo-hoo cried. It came across as performative, like that's what she thought was expected of her. And I am not trying to say by any stretch of the imagination that you do not hit upon deep, dark, sensitive stuff in therapy, because you do. You do. Right there. Prime example. When you unburden yourself of things that have weighed you down for so long, it's not just battling that issue and having to relive it that causes that response. It's the fact that when you've gotten it out, you're unburdened of it, that there's a level of relief involved. You feel more like yourself at the end of it. So you have a twofold emotional response to doing that work, but with ALR, doing this. Oh, well, I went in there and boo-hooed because, it was so hard. First off, I don't think she got far enough in with 12 sessions for her to actually make any sort of real progress to actually get to that point. And it's because with ALR, she is so shallow. She's very two-dimensional and has been since the beginning. She tries so hard. She spends more time and effort trying to paint herself as sophisticated and intelligent and, so with so much depth that she spends more effort doing that than she actually does trying to change her weight and change her life and make an effort to actually make change. And it's evident from watching how she goes about things. It's more about the presentation and not about the action. No, absolutely not. And that is why, when she started talking about, oh, well, I've only got to have 12 therapy sessions and I'll get approved, you guys. I was like, bullshit. That 12 sessions is them doing what they feel like they need to do to determine whether or not you are actually ready versus the bullshit you're trying to sell them. Because despite her thoughts, there was no way she was going to manipulate her healthcare team into giving her a surgery that she is not equipped to have. And, emotional intelligence does play a role in actually having weight loss surgery. I say that because, I had to go through a mental health evaluation. I had to have an IQ test, mental health evaluation. I had to have a physical. I had to go, the crazy thing is even though I had that mental health evaluation, I went through therapy for months before that because I was trying to figure out why I was having so many issues, and I went through that therapy, and it was after that time going through therapy on my own that I realized, hey, I've got a really, really unhealthy relationship with food, and started doing the work on that, with my therapist. And even though I was losing weight, it would have taken me some years to actually get to a healthy, sustainable weight. And that's what prompted me to go see a weight loss surgeon. So when I went into the office, I had all the documentation showing here's where I've been doing therapy. And even with all that, with the notes from my therapist, they still wanted a mental health evaluation to ensure that I was actually prepared for that, because there is a lot of drastic change involved with weight loss surgery, and it happens fast. And God's honest truth, even with clearing my mental health evaluation, there's a lot of stuff that you think you're prepared for going in that you're not. It's simply trial and error. God's honest truth, they don't tell you after weight loss surgery and having dropped a drastic amount of weight so fast that you do tend to have some body dysmorphia, because despite such a drastic loss, you've been accustomed to being an obese person for so long that you don't entirely know how to feel in your own body in the new form that it's taken on. It's a whole thing, and I'm not the only one who says that. I've met other people who've had weight loss surgery. My mom did it a year before I did, and she actually said the same thing. We were having a conversation about it. And she said, there are some days where I wake up where I don't feel like I'm any different than I was then, size-wise. She says, and then I get up and I get moving. And once I'm moving around, that's when I realize, hey, things are different. And that's something that you have to, it takes time for you to work through. But you guys have heard me say it. Even now, I still call myself a fat girl. And again, it's not because of my physical size. I'm in a smaller skin suit than I used to be, but I still have that fat girl mentality. I still love the hell out of food. If God's honest truth, I put myself through it sometimes. I'm just like, man, I would really, really love to have some chocolate cake right now. But I'm like, nope, can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. I honestly, it would be hard to say. Because I don't think she talked about it, did she? Whew. Okay, let's see. While we're here, is there anything that you guys want to touch on? Is there any video you'd like me to look at that I haven't looked at? Oh, backtracking to ALR, that whole weight loss thing and her saying, I'm doing this thing and I'm going to talk about it, but you guys might not agree with it. I would not be surprised if she were back on the Adipex. She's been incredibly wired. She's lost a lot of weight really, really fast. We know she's not changed her eating habits because it is physically impossible for her. It is mentally impossible for her. We know that she's not jacked up. We know she's not doing any more physical activity than she was before. Walking Twinkie 3 times a day is not going to cut it. I mean, it leaves the options pretty limited. It's either that or she's back on like Ozempic or Wegovy or whatever. She's on some sort of, there is some sort of intervention going on here, because there's no way that she has had this epiphany, because if that were the case, she would have had a long time ago. Mm. Mm. Oh, that ain't what I was trying to do, y'all. All right, real quick. Palate cleanser. I can't go without some good looking fella today, y'all. Orlando James again. Y'all know I got a thing about him. He is such a pretty fella. I just can't help myself.
Desperado, sitting in a old Monte Carlo, a man whose heart is hollow. Take it easy.
Oh yes, he is. He is very much a pretty man, girl. Very first video of his that I showed, I said, I don't really mess around. I don't really mess around with guys in that age group because he's like 13 years younger than me, something like that. But I appreciate a good-looking man. I'm a connoisseur of good-looking men, and that is a good-looking man. And I am 100% objectifying him because I might be old, but I ain't dead. You know what I'm saying? Well, Hanny, I'm glad that you're here at least, even if you are busy. Got anything interesting coming up? I'll tell you whose videos I'm looking out for. That would be, oh girl, honey, let me tell you, God's honest truth. You go to his TikTok, go to his YouTube. Most of his videos are hair videos, like what he does to his hair, what he does to his face. There's like a couple of workout videos. Hang on. There was one that I was like, holy moly cannoli. That thing about gave me a hot flash. There's one that's like 13 minutes long, you know, spend the day with me. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, I'm fixing to go to hell if I watch this. But this one says, they said all I did was skincare.
You see the drip. Okay, you don't want to drip right now. Wait.
His name is Orlando James.
You see they look bubble butts, jiggle when they walk with us. Memphis niggas special that you never catch them talking us. They know better, boy, get killed in front your only son. Catch me out here smoking on some beef, I'll get you well done. Fuck, nigga, I don't trust no bitch, I trust this dirty.
You see the drip. Okay,
but that right there is one pretty man. I mean, oh. Right. Me and you gonna be in the same. Hey. Your oars back there. We're pedaling. Because we both going down. Real talk. He is an incredibly pretty fella. He puts in the work. He's actually a model. And then he decided to start doing online content. Let me find another. There you go. There's your one with the hair.
Wipe it down. Wipe it down. Wipe.
But a lot of his videos are like, he does like skincare, he does healthcare, he's got a lot of, he is like masterclass TikTok transition specialist. He is something else. Here's your one with the transitions. Boy's got style too. You ready, Gerd? I'm fixing to take you all the way to the gate, to the fiery gates. You ready, love? Hang on. Okay. Images. Y'all, that's one pretty man right there. Like I said, he's a model. He's done a lot of he's done like runway modeling. He's done, photography modeling, catalog modeling, stuff like that. But him with short hair way before he grew that pretty hair out. Beautiful guy though. And based on what I've seen of him, I've watched quite a few of his TikTok videos. He's actually a very good-natured man. Lord have mercy, look at that. Tarzan reborn, y'all. Jesus. Hey, who you telling? Girl. Hey. done got the hot flash kicked in, real talk. Yeah, girl. Yes, ma'am. You knew I wasn't going to go a day without some good-looking men up in here because we done seen nothing but trolls this entire video, girl. I mean, I'm going to tell you God's honest truth, and I think oh, holy moly. Are you ready, Gerd? I'm fixing to give you a for real hot flash. Look at this face. That's like looking down in the depths of the soul right there. Whew, holy moly. All right, I got to quit. I got to quit with him because real talk, I am over here with my back on fire. Every man is different. I love it. I love Idris Elba too, but for different reasons. There's something about every individual dude that I find attractive that they're all different from one another. But real talk, first class ticket, girl. I mean, it ain't like you giving us a whole lot of option, Hanny. You don't show your face. If you look as good as you sound, you should be propping that camera up, bro. Just saying. Just saying. I ain't never seen Hanny. I can't judge. See, that's the deal. Backtracking to SH here. That's the thing. And I think I've said this before. I actually like kind of beefy guys. And it's, when I explain, I guess it'll make sense. Just like I like, who's 600 pounds? You talking about Hannibal? I kind of like beefier guys because, I mean, y'all have seen me. I'm not a little chick. I'm not ever going to be a little dainty thing. It doesn't matter how much weight I lose. At 165 pounds, like where I lost all of it, all of my weight, where I capped out and plateaued, I still was not a dainty thing. I'm just not built to be. So a man that's kind of a beefy sort of dude actually for me helps me feel more feminine. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of, the way I figure it, because I'm not so drastically feminine, I need somebody who's a little more drastically masculine to kind of help balance me out. So there's that. The other thing too, and I ain't speaking for everybody, but how many of y'all ladies out there don't mind being manhandled a little bit? Nothing quite makes you feel like a woman like having somebody manhandle you in just the right amount. You know what I'm saying? So probably too much info, but you know, it's just my thought. Ooh, done got Hanny's ears burning over there. Well, I mean, metrosexual is one thing. Take our gentleman here with the beautiful hair and the beautiful smile. He would probably be considered very metrosexual. I mean, he wears eyeliner, you know, he does his hair, he rocks the fashion. You know what I'm saying? But he's still very masculine despite all that. He's very comfortable in himself. And that is, to me, what makes him the most attractive. He's very comfortable in his body and his skin, and he isn't really worried about falling into a standard. You know what I'm saying? Struggle Jennings. I think I've seen Struggle Jennings. Am I to look at Struggle Jennings? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing here? Is that a visual representation for you, girl? Is that your throwdown for you? Is that your type, love? I mean, he's a nice looking man. I will give him that. Boy's beefy too. Right. It isn't, I mean, it isn't so much the protective factor for me because, you know, I mean, I'm fully equipped to take care of myself, even physically. I don't think I've shared it, but I went through quite a few years of Brazilian jiu-jitsu training. I love choking people out. I wouldn't have to worry, I don't think. There's my girl. Hey, Lone. No, see, I don't really mind stuff like that. You know, I'm of the position that, you know, guys should be able to accessorize and feel good about themselves too, you know. And I'm going to give you an example. And you guys, I'm going to tell you who he reminds me of. He reminds me a lot He reminds me a lot of, there's a better one. He reminds me a lot of Prince. This is the guy whose videos that I have shared before. Him and Richard Grandin used to be on a podcast together. This is Pierre. Pierre, my intro song music is actually Pierre's voice. That's actually a part of one of his songs. It's an instrumental section. Pierre's a very talented artist. He's a singer. He actually used to be a runway model too, but a very, very beautiful man physically. And he actually is of the same type. He is like Orlando. He's straight, but he is very much about fashion. He is very much about art. He loves presentation. And right. And see, and that's actually really where Pierre kind of falls into. He's very non-gender specific. His clothing will be masculine, but he's wearing eyeliner and eyeshadow. You know, he'll have a very feminine mode of dress, and he'll change his hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? He'll change his hairstyle so that it's a little bit more on the masculine end. He's very, very artistic. There we go. That he was trying to be less feminine in this photo. He shaved his hair down. He went from this, which I absolutely love the dreads on him. His natural hair is actually was actually longer than mine at that point, but he had the braids put in, and then he opted to take them out, and he cut his hair like that. People wigged out over it. He lost thousands of subscribers because he cut his hair. People have this image that they feel like he needs to stay within, but he's actually intellectually a very diverse person, thought-wise. Agreed. Prince was a steal your girl type of dude all day long, no question. A 600-pound man with a cat. Jesus. Let me see. But this whole thing with Pierre has never actually been seen online without makeup on. People have tried so hard to find a photo of him and it will without makeup, and it will never happen because he has said there is nothing online of me with no makeup. He said, I look like a 10-year-old when I don't have makeup on. Little Mama is actually, that's a good question. I think she's in the living room. Boo Man's right here though. He made an appearance earlier. Hey baby. Hi baby boy. Come here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, don't be a grumpy boy. Don't be a grumpy boy. There you go, Miss Abby. You got your kitty therapy for today. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Oh, listen to his motor idling. Oh, my goodness. Oh, hi. Come on, baby. To my baby. That's a boo man. You're so sweet. I love you. You know that? I love you. You know that? Oh, my baby boy. Oh, my baby boy. I think so too, but realistically, I mean, any man who will appreciate and take care of animals, whether he's a fan of them or not, is going to win me over either way. Little Mama, I do believe, is in the living room. I mean, she came through a little earlier, and actually there was a whole 5 minutes there where her and Boo were in here rolling around, cutting up and fighting like cats and dogs in here for a little bit. I was having to play mediator in the middle of the stream because they were acting a fool. Got one for you, Abby. Tell me if this one's your speed, because he is absolutely mine. I love me some I love me a man with a little bit of scruffy to him. I can't help myself. I do too. There's just something calming about it. Nah, she actually doesn't want anything to do with Romeo, believe it or not. Whenever, yeah, girl. Yes, ma'am. And I mean, he's a beautiful man, but his personality too just makes him top notch. He's a genuinely happy guy. And I love that about him. I have a feeling Hanny probably laughed at that comment. Oh, Abby, let me ask you a question since you love Struggle Jennings. Have you seen the video? Well, it ain't even a video. It's a song. Him, what is that kid's name? Him, Tom McDonald, and God, what is that kid's name? Hang on. Traveler. Upchurch. Him. Okay. Upchurch the Redneck. Okay. Upchurch the Redneck. Oh, he did end up making a video out of it. Does it have all three of them in it, though? No. Okay. Adam Calhoun is just, there's something, he ain't quite my speed. Girl, hey, you holding on to the trees for dear life? Trust me, do I know, girl? I've been keeping up with the news on that. I talked to Dad earlier about all that. But you know which song I'm talking about, though, right? It's the three of them together. This one. This one, I love this song. And I'll probably get copyright struck for it. But I'm going to play part of it.
Tipsy off weed and raw whiskey, whistling the silence at night as the ghost emerged from the thick weed, drifting in clothing they had when they left this world years ago. So they tiptoe in heaven, nervous cause they still ain't the norm. They seen the light but did travel, got stuck in the past to explore. Maybe we are in the past.
Let me find your boy, though.
Waiting on my time to
There's your boy.
With a broken face, sleeping in the cutlass, showered in the truck stop. A buckshot's the only thing will
ever make this buck stop.
Punch clocks and misery, dreams of something bigger. I just want to reach the public, not just
be a public figure.
Like to say that he failed, train to success was derailed.
I will say this. Oh, that's all right, Heather. I'm here, honey. I ain't going nowhere. Abby Cat, I don't know if you've heard this song, but look it up and listen to it. And I'm going to tell you, the three of them together, it is great. I will say, girl, you read my mind. I was just fixing to say that is something that I will give Struggle. He has got such a distinct sounding voice to him. You know what I'm saying? That he was probably, God's honest truth, Heather, there ain't no telling where he was going, girl. There ain't no telling where he was going. Was he in the truck or was he on the putt-putt? Was he on the golf cart? And then give you a little bit of the Tom section.
I feel like I'm naked inside of a snake pit and everybody want to take it. I feel like I have to come under this hole with a pair of boots made of snakeskin. I feel like the bullets ahead is the highway to hell, but I still gotta take it. Nothing to lose and a second to prove that the stars that I follow that led me to greatness. I struggle with skeletons, drunk on adrenaline, running and dumping the evidence. Discussing my demons with devils, disguised as my friends and pretending the betterment. Collecting the feathers of vultures and patiently wait for a meal at my grave and tell my tale around campfires. You listen close, they'll say. He was a traveler, rock star, and a healer.
That's an awesome song, though. For those of y'all that have never heard that, look that up. I'm not a real big fan of Upchurch, but I love that song. There hasn't been many of Upchurch's songs that I've actually heard that I liked. And it's just kind of like, I can kind of take it or leave it. Oh, maybe he was taking stuff off to the dump then, because, that's kind of, that's the dump site that he goes to. So maybe that's where he was headed. I don't know. That's usually the way guys like that are. Well, Lone, do you think that your voice would give you away to help you be identified? Is that why you use the AI? I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, your videos are great. I mean, I don't rightly blame you for protecting your privacy or anything. Not in the slightest. Oh, I hear a motor. Hey, mamas. Abby, your girl's here. I'm trying to, Hey, mamas. Come here, mama. Hi, Boogie. I wasn't calling you. You want to come because I'm calling her, don't you? You being a jelly boy. You being a jelly boy. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Hey, mama lady. What are you doing? Your fans have been asking about you. That would be hysterical. I would say probably not. Come on. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Come on, mama. Come on. Where's the mama lady? Where's the mama lady? I see you. You ain't got to be jealous. Just because I'm calling her doesn't mean you got to be jealous. We ain't got to be a jealous boy. She's sitting underneath the desk. She won't come up. And headed your way, but figured I wouldn't appreciate the presence of Rocco's company. Honestly, I don't think it... I mean, God's honest truth, Heather, it wouldn't have bothered me. Maybe the two that are down here underneath the desk, but not me. You know how I am. She's been a little finicky about things here lately. Right now, she's loving on him. Hang on. Oh, he's purring so loud. Hey, Mama. What doing, Mama girls? Oh, jealous boy. Jealous boy. Here you go, Abby. Oh. She was underneath the desk loving on him. Hers been a little moody today. She's still a sweet girl. God's honest truth. I mean, I would say, he could have stayed in the garage. I mean, we could have put him a bed in the garage or on the porch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there. I don't think I have. Hang on. Let me look at it. Spartacus. Season 1. Who is that dude? I see they use a lot of the camera effects from 300. That's not a bad. Holy moly, there's a couple good-looking men in that show. Oh my gosh! And the God, what's that dude's name? The bald-headed black dude. He actually played in 300 as the messenger, the one that got knocked down the hole, the one that got kicked. You know, I didn't realize he was in that. That's wild. Oh my word. Y'all, Heather sent me a picture of her dog, Rocco. Rocco's worried about the weather. Bless his heart. He's using his emotional support human. Gorl, trust me, I am seeing this. I might have to watch me some of it to see if it's worth getting into. You know what I'm saying? You know that's just a big baby. I know. Oh, to point me toward half naked, good looking men, I ain't gonna turn that away. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I might be old, but I ain't dead. I'm gonna be 85 years old, still looking at all the young ass male nurses working up in the nursing home. I ain't got no shame. Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you though, I don't know with shows like that, God's honest truth, that any of them can top 300 or Gladiator. That's just real. Woo. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, girl, I done seen all of Magic Mike. I ain't seen Vikings. I got Vikings saved on my list. I just haven't got around to it yet. The Witcher, I've seen clips and everything, but I'm just like, I don't know. I'm real weird. I got to be in a particular mood to watch things. I know that sounds bizarre, but you know. I may have to give it a go then. Just give it a try and see. This is going to sound weird, and I'm not talking politics. Oh, Sons of Anarchy, girl. That's a banger all day long. That I binge. First off, I was like several seasons, like super late into it, okay? And I binge watched the hell out of that series. I was just like, oh my. Oh, girl, you missing out. If you're going to watch one, the first one is the gold standard, girl. Really, really, really. Right, exactly. Oh, yes, ma'am. Oh, let me ask this question, and I know that I'm going to sound insane, okay? I am not talking politics whatsoever. I don't care about his wife. Images. It's going to sound bizarre, but Vivek Ramaswamy is kind of cute to me, and I don't know why. Okay? I mean, y'all, real talk, y'all know I normally bought like beefy guys, but he's cute to me for some reason. Oh, girl, you got to finish that. You got to finish that. Does anybody see that? Y'all, you a disgusting human being. You know that? Sick, 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 sick. Block. I got to hand it to you. That is something that I will say for guys. If y'all ain't figured that out yet, I tell people it's like the greatest joke that God ever created. Men look good even into their 80s, okay? And but they die young. Whereas we don't age great, but we live a hell of a lot longer than men, like 20, 25 years, most of us, longer than men. Yeah, see, prime example. Sean Connery is still a good looking man. He could be 155 and he would still be a good looking man. Girl, apparently I do. Profile picture was a ding-a-ling, talking about you're beautiful. Can't nobody see me but you, and I think you're an attractive woman. Boy, you better get your sorry behind up out of my chat. I ain't got time for your foolishness. Just because I'm on here talking about good looking men don't mean I want somebody on here trying to flirt with me, trying to show me they little ding ding. You know what I'm saying? Yep, that's another one. Oh yeah, hey, and will be until the day that they die. Abby, look, there's your girl. Say hi. Say hi, mamas. Not the booties. Say hi. You were being asked about. Your presence was being requested. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. Yes, indeed. Did talking about the men folks bring you up here? Well, I ain't even willing enough to say ding dong because I mean it wasn't that impressive in that little profile picture. I'm sorry. You ain't missed much. Trust me, girl, you ain't missed much. Yes, Lord. That's God playing a joke on us. Yep. And she's not just a pretty girl, but she's a sweet girl too. Even when she's a little moody, she's still a sweet girl. Hey, I done said it before. This is her channel, and I'm just the co-pilot here, and not the other way around. There ain't no telling her that she ain't a star. She knows she is all about the attention. Oops. Girl, yes, you did. Little pitiful thing. Acting like that's another thing. And I'm sorry, if there's any men in the chat, can y'all please explain this to me? Why do y'all feel the need to send dick pics? Okay. First of all, unless I ask for one, why do you think that is going to be something that impresses me? And I ask that question as somebody who has been in the nursing field for over 20 years. I've seen more dicks in the last 20 some odd years than the average prostitute over the duration of their lifetime. To me, it ain't nothing more than a body part. It is just a thing. Unless it's mine, it holds no relevancy. You know what I'm saying? And when I say mine, I'm meaning attached to a man that I have deemed as mine. Unless it is something specific for me that I have taken claim upon, it don't mean nothing to me. It's just a body part. And all it does is make you look like a dumbass. Ariana, welcome. Well, I call her little mama because she likes to mama everybody. She likes to mama me. She likes to mama Boo Man. She likes to mama. There ain't no person or animal that she's met that she ain't tried to love on and take care of in some way. She's had kittens at some point, I have no doubt, because that maternal, I need to nurture you is just like hardwired. No, she ain't say not one word about. Girl, real talk, you know she probably threw a whole bag of cat food on the floor and just rolled on out of that heifer. She don't give two shits about that cat. Well, one, there's that. But the other thing, too, I mean, I'm sorry. It goes back to it. Even in person, I don't really give two craps about a dang-a-lang unless I got an emotional attachment to the person that it's connected to. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fool around just at random like that. I ain't never been the type for the casual sort of deal. It's just never really been my thing. Girl, she ain't got no shame. You know how cats are. She does on occasion. It just depends. She usually waits for me to go to bed so that she can go to bed. Girl, she's in Thailand. She done already flew there and done already posted a whole video from Thailand. Oh, sorry, heifer. Oh, girl. She was sweating like a hooker in church the whole way through that thing because there was a lot of walking involved for her. She'd keep on playing, her ass gonna have a heart attack. And to add to this, she playing with fire because she done went to Thailand where everything is fried or sauteed in butter. Straight lard. I want to know how she's going to get around because all them little scooters they use, I can guarantee ain't none of them going to be able to hold her ass up. And woo, y'all say a prayer for the rickshaw drivers because every single one of them's going to end up with messed up hips or backs if they try to haul her butt around. I believe so, and in God's honest truth, I mean, we already know what this is about. This is not her doing it for recreational purposes. She had to. It was time for a visa renewal. Right, and that's exactly what I was saying, Hanny. You know, she seems to think that she's exempt from it, you know, and she's not. Oh, yeah, that's another reason why I think she went there, you know. Right. I'm sorry. And I said this, and that's why I asked this question: why men have such this thing about their Johnson. I mean, no offense to none of y'all out there, but you see one, they basically look all the same. You know what I'm saying? There might be subtle differences, shade, length, whether or not they bend one way or the other. I mean, but every single Johnson on the planet pretty much looks alike. I'm sorry. If she tries to ride an elephant, I hope that thing takes her out. Oh, believe me, do I know? I have a feeling we're lining up for a medical emergency coming up because sister's trying to do too much. Oh, no question. That's what I'm thinking. She gonna send Sala out to do the popping and fetching, and we might see maybe one or two little going places, but they gonna end up renting taxis because there ain't no way she's walking and there ain't no way she's getting on no moped. You know that. What are you doing? What are you doing? I stole a kissy, didn't I? I stole her some sugars, didn't I? Were you not okay with that? Were you not okay with that? You've never turned it down before. You're a good girl. You know what? You're a sweet lady. You gonna be sweet to me? Girl. Honestly, I think it would still be too much. I still think it would be too much for them to actually get her around, honestly. What are you doing? What are you doing? Y'all should see the way she's looking at me. Hi. Hi, boo. You want to come up here too? You can come sit with me. Come on. Come on. You over here talking to me like you want attention. Come on. Come on, Fluff. Come on, Fluffy boy. Come on. Oh, you're going to be difficult? You want to be difficult? Me either. And that's what I'm saying. I don't understand that. I mean, no offense to nobody. Unless I specifically ask for it, don't be sending me that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, first off, number one, that don't do it for me anyway. Number two, again, do y'all know how many Johnsons I've seen in the last 20 some odd years? Talking about working in the prison. Okay. A normal day in the prison system involves me seeing at least 10 peckers flashed at me over the course of the day. At least 10, if not more. That's just par for the course, you know. Quite true. True enough. I'll tell you the part that gets me too is they try to be slick and put stuff next to it. A remote control, a beer can, or what. I don't care. I don't care how big that thing is. Don't be sending me no picture of it. Hi. What are you doing, baby? We'll be in a talkative fella tonight. You're not normally this needy. So you just in a mood? You just in a mood? You want to come up here? He says no. Sorry, it's the truth. I mean, okay. I know that sounds wild, but it's true. I mean, honestly, it would not. I could walk into the prison wearing a nun habit and they wouldn't be able to see nothing but my face. It would not matter. I'd be still seeing junk all day long. They are not even looking at you and seeing you. They're looking at you and seeing this visual representation of what they think you look like with no clothes on. That's what they think they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The only nurse that I ever worked with that did not have that happen, she maybe had it happen once or twice, but she didn't have to go through it like that, is a woman. Okay, her name was Ethel. All right. Ethel was an old school DOC nurse. She had been in the prison system for like 45 years. She retired from the state and then started working private when it transitioned to private medical. So she retired from one and kept going. Okay. Every one of them guys on that compound, they didn't play with her. They all said it was well known that if she was there, she would take care of you. She'd do right by you, but she wasn't going to play no foolishness. And every one of them guys respected her. Very rarely did she have the Johnson treatment. But yeah. Oh, I done seen all kind of nonsense, girl. I think at some point, if y'all want me to, I could probably do a video about some of the stuff, about what goes on in the prisons. I mean, I've said before multiple times when I worked in the system still that I wished I could bring a camera in and actually video the way things actually are. Because the stuff that you see on the shows, of course, edited for TV, edited to be salacious, if people knew that 90% of it was just mundane shit, nobody would care. Gorl. I'm going to tell you God's honest truth. I'm actually at that point where I'm fixing to do that same thing, Man, Miss Ethel, right. Miss Ethel would snatch that thing off like a paper towel. Miss Ethel didn't play with nobody. The guys loved her. They respected her, but she did not play. She did not play. And me, I'm going to tell you, the guys liked me. I had a lot of them tell me that, we're so glad when you're here because, we know you're going to look out for us. But apparently I had just enough of an attraction quotient to make me a pecker target. You know what I'm saying? So what are you doing? Why are you trying to get me? I offered to let you come up here. You're the one being a moody boy. Get him, Mama. He's being a grumpy boy. You get him. Well, I'm going to say this. It can be, but, I know it probably sounds crazy, but I prefer working with prisoners a hell of a lot more than I do working with the general public. You know what I'm saying? Dude, gonna gross you out, but I've had that thrown at me a couple of times. Thankfully, I didn't get hit, but there was still an attempt made. It's gross. What are you doing? Yeah, it's hella disgusting. Oh, shocker there. Desperation to stay relevant. Well, I mean, that's what I call it. And that's the other thing, too. I've had my conversation with guys. Like, I've had guys that have asked me, about going into corrections. And I've told them, I'm like, I hope you're ready because you're going to get gunned down too, because that's just the way it is. They don't care if you're a male. They don't care if you're a woman. They just, Gorl. That's hysterical. I'll tell you what that is, Long. That is desperation to stay relevant. Oh, are we fixing to spend the next 5 minutes coming up with names for peckers? What are you doing? Oh, you're riled up. No wonder you're acting cray-cray. I'm so glad I could amuse you. I actually, truth be told, I've worked with women, and I would rather work with men any day of the week. Any day of the week. Okay? Women are uppity. They are confrontational. They're just nasty. Nasty. I have seen women behave more nasty than men in the damn prison system, and that's just ridiculous. He is 100%. Probably anybody. I expect that if some, that explains it. Oh yeah, girl. I love my job. I'm real talk. The day of my funeral, I'll probably be on shift. That. BBW King loves to talk some smack at old boy, so it was a matter of time. God's honest truth, Ariana, truth be told, even after my funeral, they will probably just prop me up against the med cart, even though I'm in rigor. No, God's honest truth. I don't even know why he bothered. He thinks he's doing something, but he ain't gonna follow through on them claims. He's basically just wasting his time and the other person's time. Oh, for real. Not on all fronts. And the sad thing is, I have seen exactly. The sad thing is, I have seen women be more predatory than men in jail. That's wild. Since we're supposed to be all nurturing and emotionally evolved, it's wild. I hope he does. To be truthful with you, he's a dipshit. He should have been gone a long time ago after the dingling incident, the little pickle incident. He should have been gone then. Talking about being completely unjustifiably cocky. Foodie blew that man's head square up because he thinks he's something and he ain't nothing. Boy, petite deal all day long. It ain't a grower or a shower. Little pitiful something. Proof positive, prime example that micro penis is an actual thing. Walking textbook example of little man syndrome. Ooh. Oh, you got the Zooms now, huh? Well, I tell you what, if I go first, absolutely. But I will be doing the same thing for you if you go first. We're just going to have to see. I just do not understand all that. Boy be having people fawn over him like he's something even worth looking at. That grill, just the grill alone, God. Ugh. I mean, I can't say a lot about people's teeth because my teeth ain't perfect, but damn, my shit ain't messed up like that, though. Really? Why was Hurl dinging everybody, though? Right. Oh. That ain't good. Is she going to fight him, though? I hope she does. Side note, Heather, just so you know, file this away for future reference because I can tell you right now, Daniel is not going to be equipped. I want to be cremated, and y'all can put me in the ocean with Mom. Just saying. Good. I'm guessing that's still playing out. I mean, honestly, I hope that she ends up getting that channel back because that's not cool. All because he's a sensitive little bitch. What are you doing under there? Oh, no. Huh? What you talking about? Oh, shit. Well, who was hitting her? Do we know? He's an idiot. He's done enough of it already, though, that he should have done lost his channel because that's just playing dirty. Thank you. I'm glad because, like I said, Daniel is not going to be up to par. He ain't going to be able to cut it. Real talk. Something happens to me, Daniel's going to have me sitting on the bookshelf next to a Star Wars collection. You know what I'm saying? Hi. Oh. Let's do some sniffing about here. I'm not asking you to be responsible for that. I'm asking you not to let Daniel put me on the shelf with his collectibles to collect dust. That's all I'm asking. We sure did, and man, old girl was looking bad all the way through.
The box, I think. Will you guys ever see Angelica again? Silly.
Nada que Lulu. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
You just push it down.
Grazie, grazie. Used to be protection.
Figured you did.
Yes. What do you want?
Where you're good.
How much you want?
One, I don't know how to do it though.
How to do it. So I tell you something. You squeeze with your thumb, manja manja. Manja manja here. Here, here. I think this long time ago. This is my super McLaren everything.
I know, not at all.
Thank you.
I'm telling y'all, I just kind of bounced through this latest live of his, and I'm sorry, but I am not okay with that woman's mother living up in the house with them at all. Yeah, see, you read my mind, Lone. That right there bothers the crap out of me. First of all, that's a one-bedroom apartment. There is no way that that woman is being given adequate space to live. One of them is sleeping on the couch, and I can almost guarantee that it ain't Nader. So tell me why they brought this woman up in there if not to use her for her government benefits. That is not okay. Not in the slightest. See, I'm getting cold again. I might can work that out for you. No. Oh, no. Actually, yeah, I did. I saw that. Every damn counter space in the kitchen loaded full of shit. Like he needs all that. Oh, yeah. No question. No question, because God's honest truth, I mean, his behavior hasn't changed. He's still as volatile and freaking crazy as he's been. Honestly, and he can try to deny it as much as he wants. He presents a safety threat to that woman because she has no way to defend herself. Now, Dee Dee, if he knocks the hell out of Dee Dee all day long, that's one thing. She chooses to be there. This woman did not choose to be there. How it is that Dee Dee's brother and this lady's son has not gotten involved is beyond me. If it had been me and it had been my mother, we would have had a whole problem. Agreed. I don't jibe with that sort of thing, especially not where he's concerned, given his track record of assaulting an elderly woman because he was high as a kite. I'm sorry. I am sincerely hoping that he ends up locked up over this May thing so that Dee Dee's mother can actually go to sleep at night and be comfortable and not have to worry about her safety, because the man he's unpredictable. First off, I don't see that working. I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, God's honest truth, most people on spectrum have a little bit of empathy for other people. He has none. Exactly. A lot of times they're not going to give two shits what it is that he's doing. He could say, you know, I'm taking care of an entire household of people. They're like, we don't care. They better figure it out. But then too, we are talking about the Canadian government system versus the American government system. I mean, they tend to be a little bit more liberal in how they respond to things. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know. Egypt. He's supposedly Muslim, but he doesn't do anything in relation to practicing the Quran. I mean, he's exhibited freely that he's a drug addict, that he beats people, that, you know, he sexually assaults people. He is trash. Heather, the dude has already been in prison one time before. Oh, right. Yeah, he stabbed two people. So he's already been in jail. He's already been in prison before. Well, and that's, I'll say this. Even if the brother were on spectrum, I mean, realistically, why is the mother not calling the son saying, hey, all this stuff is going on. I need you to come get me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's the way it should be, because that's not okay. Right, exactly. Of men. You're talking about Muslim men? Like Middle Eastern men? Oh, well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't know. Right, right. And like I was having a whole conversation about that POA thing, the other day. And yeah, it opens up a lot of doors that a lot of people should not have access to. Oh, trust, believe me, do I know. I mean, he picks people that he can prey on. Dee Dee is a weakling. Foodie was a weakling. I mean, people who have no cojones in the slightest. The woman that he sexually assaulted was like a 65-year-old woman. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's a good point, though. But you would think that at the very least, she would try to call him, because he right now kind of is the lifeline for her. You know what I'm saying? That's very true. That's very true. But I mean, God's honest truth, Nader's got to sleep at some point. That would be my thought. You didn't have to thank me for that, girl. I mean, actually, the conversation I had with you is not the only conversation that I've had about that recently. Just the fact that you had it with me, I still had it fresh in my mind and everything. But with that whole situation, that's like a whole, I can't wait to see what you do with that, by the way. You okay? Are you okay? That's because the girl's a puss. She's a puss. Again, dude's got to sleep sometime. Dude will crash at some point. And that's the way it should be. It should be somebody who's trustworthy, not somebody who has something to benefit from it. That makes it shady as hell. All righty. Talk to you later. Love you. Stay dry. Don't blow away. That's true. I know. And I mean, realistically, believe me, I've been there. I've been on the inside. I get it. Tell y'all the God's honest truth. That's the only downside of me moving over here, is that I'm far away from everybody that I care about, that means the most to me. But, realistically, as much as I hate to say it, me taking the steps to go ahead with this move and everything, and finally just saying, screw it, I'm tired of waiting, let's do this. I was more than overdue for a change. I felt like I was stuck for a long time, just kind of spinning my wheels and not getting anywhere. And here we are. I feel better, not physically, but mentally, healing. Yes, I know. I know. Well, the other thing too is, I mean, when I say that I understand that I've been through it, I've been in the inside of it. There's going to come it's going to come to a head. It's just a matter of time. It just hasn't gotten there yet. There's going to come a point where she's going to be ready to fight back. It's just, she just hasn't had it. She hasn't been pushed far enough yet. But at the same time too, I mean, realistically, if Dee Dee is on the same stuff that Nader's on, it may take a while before she actually gets to a point where she is ready to fight back. You know what I'm saying? Me and you right here. And see, realistically, that's the way it should be, because no offense to anybody, but I don't care who that person is to you. They spent a large portion of their life taking care of you. The least you can do is give them a monicum of respect when the time comes that you have to take care of them in some measure. Yeah, and God's honest truth, and this is going to sound bad, but I don't care. I am really hoping that one, Snaggle Shark over there, gets him a dose of that and it takes him out. I mean, I hate that I even have to say that, but realistically, he's not going to do, even if he goes to prison, it's not going to stop him from being this evil human being. He'll learn nothing from it. He'll continue to victimize people, and I'm not okay with that. Right. I agree. Well, I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth. Even without them involving Dee Dee's mother, I'd already made up my mind about him. He has shown us too much, and he's done too many things for me to believe that he's salvageable, you know? Right. And the bad thing is that is something that happens pretty commonly, you know? So, yeah. Oh, yeah. No question. Oh, there we go. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, yeah. No question. Yeah. I agree with that, because, I mean, she knows exactly why her mother is being brought into that situation, and she's okay with it because she's a part of it. She chose to do that. She is no better than he is, as far as I'm concerned. Don't do that. I know you see you, but don't get you. That's a sweet girl. Don't get her. Yeah, I'm sorry, and I'm not okay with that. Not based on what we know about him. I am not okay with that in the slightest. Yeah? Yeah. We're doing. Hi. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the sugars. Hannibal, I made a joke one night that, you know, when I'm not in no godforsaken hurry to get my channel count to where I can have like memberships and stuff like that, because I don't really feel like I have like a drastic amount to offer to make that worthwhile. But the ability to be able to do like merch or something to help me pay for, stuff to do for videos and everything would be nice. I said kind of like having, an example, a sticker of little mama's face that you can, or not a sticker, a magnet you can put on your refrigerator of her judging you. You know what I'm saying? That would be kind of funny. And somebody, I can't even think of who, said, I would buy that. Look at that face. She's a sweet girl. Oh my goodness. It's so time consuming and exhausting to be such a sweet, pretty lady, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, you down? You down for the count? Or say rub my belly. Rub the belly. Rub them bellies. She is a sweet lady, but she does have a very judgy look to her. Imagine going to open the fridge and having her judging you while you're opening the fridge. I do too. She's, you know, she was gifted to me by the cat distribution system, and you know, it's been history. It's been history since then. She's made my life fun. Between her and Boo Man, the two of them are a never-ending form of entertainment. Yeah. Kissy kissy. Let's do the kissies. You want to keep going? You want me to keep going? Yeah. Don't you love it when they do that, though? I posted a picture of the two of them because they just happened to be sitting on the floor together in the living room. And I was like, ooh, and I put my phone down and took a picture of them and I posted it on the community page. And I was like, look at them. They're so pretty, even though they do look a little judgy. And there was people were like, yeah, they do look judgy. They are looking judgily at us. And I was like, you know, that's just them being them. That's not anything in particular. That's just their face, but I love them. They're both so sweet. They've both got a little bit of that RBF thing going on. Oh, what are you doing? What are you doing? I see her. The only place little mama doesn't do that is the bathroom. She's the one that usually follows me to the bathroom. And she'll sit there and talk to me like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Do I need to protect you from anything in here that has running water? The joys of being a cat parent. Hi, don't get me. Don't get me. I'm being sweet. I was being sweet to you. Don't get me, Mama. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, nope, 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 nope. Don't get me. Don't get me. Don't get me. Don't get me. Okay, you feel like playing, huh? You feel like playing? We feel like playing now? I stopped trying to close the door years ago because, you know, even no matter how fast you try to close the door, they will slither through before the door closes because they're fast, you know. All right. I've just given up on it. It's just easier just to let them come on. Oh yeah. She's sweet, but she's got her little moments where she can be a little sassy butt. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? Oh my goodness. I had one years ago. His name was Christopher. He was an Abyssinian. I don't know if you're familiar with that cat breed, but he was very long and very lanky. He would somehow squish himself and slide underneath the door. No truer words have ever been spoken. Actually, I think I could show y'all. Let me see. Right there. Christopher looked like this guy. Look like this guy right here. He was a very sweet boy. Somebody dumped him. We got him through the cat distribution center. My dad went to a furniture store in town to get a box. I can't even remember what for, but somebody had dumped Christopher behind this furniture store, and he was very skinny. My dad brought him home and we fattened him back up, but he was a purebred Abyssinian, looked just like this. Sweetest fella. He was, you could tell he was weaned. He was removed from his mother too soon. And because he liked to suck on your hair like he was nursing. But the sweetest boy. He lived a long time, even though he was, come to find out, we took him to the vet after we got him fattened up and everything. He had feline leukemia. And despite all that, amazingly enough, none of the other cats in the house got it. But there was a couple of times he got really sick and we had to turn him into a burrito, and we'd have to give him baby food and peanut butter and, kitty vitamins and stuff like that. We'd have to make a mixture and syringe feed him. And we'd have to do that for a day or two. And then he'd bounce back and be back to normal. But one of the sweetest cats I think I've ever had. Yeah, these are the guys that the Egyptians worshipped. Look at those ears. He's got that RBF face going on right there, man. Beautiful cats, though. Hella expensive. That's why it blew my mind later on when I found out that that they were as expensive as they were. And I was like, why would somebody have dumped this cat? He was so sweet. They're really good at that, aren't they? Well, I mean, poor guy that somebody was a butthole and left him, though. But we took him in and we had him for a long, long time. That was my dude. I loved me some of him and he loved him some of me. I spoiled the hell out of him. He had a good life after that. I made sure of that. Not really. I mean, they look wild, but for the most part, they're just an average house cat. They just look funky. They are, and they're actually very dimensional when you see them in person, because a single cat hair has 8 different colors on it. It's stacked. The end will be one color and there'll be color gradient as it goes down of various colors. So as they move, their color kind of shifts a little bit. It's really wild. I guess it's supposed to make them blend into the sand or whatever. I don't know. Exactly. They have earned the right to be spoiled. Yeah, I didn't know that initially, because back in the day, this was way back in the day. This was before the internet, so I didn't I could look that up. I had to find books or ask the vet, but I've read stuff about it since then, and I was like, well, that's pretty nifty. Most of the cats that I think I've had over the years have been mixed breed cats. The only other purebred cat that I've had was my ex-husband's cat. Her name was Kia, and she was a rag doll, but she didn't behave like a rag doll. She was very mean. Most ragdoll cats, they're very loving. They want to be all over you. You pick them up and they just kind of melt into you. She was like, bitch, don't touch me. I used to watch some of those, but I stopped watching it. A guy that I know who's a tattoo artist, he ended up on the show. And they gave an assignment and he followed the assignment to the letter. He does amazing work. He's great at what he does. He followed the assignment and he gave them everything that they asked for. But the girl that they put him up against, she didn't follow it at all. And they picked her over him because they said her tattoo looked cool. And they voted him off. And it pissed me off. Hang on, let me see. Let me see what season that's in. Season 12, Battle of the Sexes. His name is Tito Zambrano. Yeah, and I was pissed. I'm not going to tell you a lie. I sent him a message on Facebook. I'm like, bro, don't be listening to them people. They don't determine who's an ink master. You do. You're the fucking bomb. Fuck them people. They've got poor taste. That girl's tattoo might have been prettier, but your work was actually exactly what they asked for. Hang on, let me show you. Images. I'll show you Tito. Tito's a good dude too. Episode 12, where he was up against, this is the tattoo that he did, which was exactly what they asked for. I think so too. The bad thing is though, is that Tito is an amazing artist. He does good work. I mean, like this is one of his right here. This is one of his. This sleeve right here. Right there. All that stuff's him. Tito is actually a really genuinely nice guy, and he loves what he does, and you can tell by how his work turns out. I mean, there's another one right there. Tito does amazing work. He absolutely should not have went home. He was on there to try to help raise money to bring his wife and his kids over from Panama. He's been here. He moved here years ago. His wife and his kids are still in Panama. He flies back and forth regularly. He does tattooing here. He does tattooing there. And that was the whole point of him going on the show, so that he could win money to help bring them over here so that they could get citizenship and so that they could stay here. And the fact that they picked that girl's tattoo over his because they thought it looked cool, I was like, you bastards. I lost all respect for that show after that. I was like, I'm not watching this shit anymore. You know? I was hella mad. He was just like, oh no, it's not a big deal, you know. It was a great experience, you know. It was a learning experience, you know. It's gonna give me, you know, it's giving me free advertising, you know. I go to conventions and everybody wants to see me and get tattoos from me and this and that and da da da. And I was like, bro. I was like, I am mad on your behalf because not only are you a good guy, but you're a great artist and you deserved better. You deserve to stick around to the end. That was my opinion. And maybe I'm a little biased, but you know, it's not solely off the fact that he's a good person. He does amazing work, you know, hell of a lot better than the crap that girl was putting out while she was on the show. Right. I mean, realistically, I don't think they really went too far into his backstory. If they had done that, realistically, I think they probably would have kept him a lot sooner than they kept her. You know what I'm saying? Because she was on there just because she wanted the exposure, I think. What? I'm sorry. That shouldn't even be a thing. Oh, cool. Okay. Obviously I can't play any of the Ink Master stuff. They'll ding the shit out of me, but there's a video where a guy actually sat with Tito to do ink work.
Like, that shit gonna look crazy. Like, I'm talking about like that one is from like what, the first Avengers. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, but so don't put a dick with me. Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Mike. Welcome back to the channel.
All right, let's get to the part where he starts inking him. Or is that going to be on the next one?
You ain't like, you already know. Like,
I take it from there. You know,
that piece, I was like, I didn't know what I was getting. Yeah. I just came in. He was like, people ask me that shit all the time. They was like, "Yo, who is that?" I'm like, I don't know, some chick off Google. I was like, I just told him, don't put a dick with me.
There's a popular profile of this chick on Google. Yeah. And I've seen her many times. I know it's that reference. But they make her a Medusa, a mermaid. Yeah. They have make her all that. Yeah. But she just look cool. Yeah. Her lips, the look, she's doing. It's a cool reference. You know?
Yeah, look, like I said, I had no clue. I'm like, everybody's like, who is that? I'm like,
well, it is, but he's getting a cover up put over it.
Cool though, you know what I'm saying?
That's what they're working on as a back. What they're designing for him is a back piece.
You can see it from like, dang, that shit.
See, he's laying it out.
I think that shit gonna look hot.
Okay, I guess we got to go to the second one. Back up. Let's see.
My ancestors survived so that I could be allergic to tree sperm.
Oh no, I guess they're doing a leg.
Not feel good. Trust me.
He's doing a lot of sit time. Ooh, that thing gonna hurt tomorrow, y'all.
Finishing up the outline for that door.
Ooh, on the back of the leg. I know that's gonna be painful.
Coming together. Last person. Put that Black Panther. Be right there.
All right, we're gonna put some color on it. Did he end up doing another session with him? That was 2 years ago, bro. Videos. Oh, that dude's a gun channel. All right then. He's a pew pew collector. Okay, well if he had it finished, he didn't video it. Oh, wait, yeah he did. Yeah, he did. Let's see. Oh, he went all the way down the leg with that baby. I think you gotta really know what you're looking for. Dimension is usually a big thing. If the dimension is not consistent all the way through, then that's a problem. But even a subtle shift in dimension can throw a whole tattoo off, believe it or not. Are we gonna do some color?
Crazy, y'all.
Oh, he's going all the way around the leg.
So it's like a no-brainer. On to the shader, man. As always, man, my boys be killing that shit, yo. This shit gonna look crazy, yo. Like I said, we going to some tattoo conventions. When it's all done, oh yeah, we gonna get some prizes for this year. Man, appreciate that shit as always, bro. Hell yeah. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Appreciate y'all hanging out with your boy, man. Like I said,
all right, that looks to be the last one. Yeah, Tito's a good dude though. Lord, my sister. Ooh, I don't think I could do that, man. Real talk. There'd be Tito. Let's see. Albums. See, a lot of his stuff is real colorful. He's great with portrait work. Well, I gotta give it to him. Hang on real quick. Let me show you. Because dude is hella talented. Portraits. The Vampire Lestat. That one is probably my favorite of the bunch. Hannibal Lecter. Evil Dead. That one's awesome. Huh? The Grinch. The Joker. I don't know who that is. That's Evil Dead 2. But I'll tell you probably what my favorites of his would probably be the a lot of the X-Men stuff and the comic characters tend to be like, for real, that's really, I think, his best, because like, you know, he does really great work with color. Zombies again. I love that steampunk. That's awesome. There's one that I've seen that he's got in here of Xavier from X-Men. It's really awesome. We'll get to it though at some point, I'm sure. I know I saw it. Love that. Tomato. Spider-Man. Oh, that's a neck piece. That had to hurt. There you go. There's your X-Men. There's Gambit, Magneto, Wolverine, Xavier. God, I can't think of his name right now. I'm having brain farts. Storm. Can't think of his name right now. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, that's a lot of sit time, and that was pretty costly, but, you know, well worth it at the end result. I mean, the coloring is beautiful. Zeus. Look at this. Look at the seal. Star Wars. That one's awesome. That's somebody with some dedication that they were able to sit that long for him to do all that fine detailed work like that. Holy smokes. Big ups to the person who sat through all that. Holy moly. Wow, look at that. That's pretty. 4 sessions, about 25 hours in total. A cover-up of 2 tattoos that he did 10 years prior. Wow. That's gorgeous. Tito does good work. I mean, they should have never took him off the show. That, to me, was probably one of the dumbest choices they could have made. Oh, I can't think of it either. But it's very, to me, the ones that they do where they actually show the muscle and the veins and stuff underneath, like a breakthrough type of design like that, to me is really, because being able to get it anatomically correct, that's wild. It is beyond interesting to see, especially like if somebody's moving the arm or the leg and you can see the movement. That is really wild. I love that, but that's just me. I got a lot of respect for people who do that line of work, mainly because, you know, it takes skill and it's not something that you can just fall into easily. You have to learn how to do it, and it takes years. And Tito's got a lot of time in. And from what I gather, it's not cheap to see him, but you know, you're getting what you pay for, because when he tells you he's going to give you something, he gives you what he promises you. I mean, and realistically, that's the way that it should be, especially if you're making sure to come up off the cost and meet them in the middle, you know. But I got respect for anybody who's willing to sit that long to make sure that something is done to the even the most minute detailing like that. I think the longest I've ever sat was probably 6 hours. And the guy that I was seeing, he actually tapped out after 6 hours because he said the end of his fingertips had went numb from the vibration of the gun and everything. So, yeah. Holy schmoly, y'all. We've been at this 4 hours. It is almost 1 a.m. my time. I don't know about you guys, but I think I'm going to get off of here. And I'm going to let you all go to bed or do whatever else y'all need to do. And I will catch up with y'all guys soon. Hopefully I'm going to have another video for you. I'm going to be talking a little bit probably about foodie beauty hypertensive issues. Get a little more in depth on that. But I think I'm going to kind of leave it there. It's been a good night. You know, I really appreciate all you guys coming out. Lone, it's good to see you. Give me a holler if you need anything, girl. Thank y'all for riding out this hurricane party with me. I was kind of waiting for the rain to show up, and it didn't really show up. How strange is that? Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. But you guys have a good night. Look forward to hear from you. Talk to you guys soon. Everybody on the replay, thanks for coming through. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.